Grapsody with Will, Phil, and Reg, trying to keep it real instead of what you usually get from these talking heads. It's Grapsody, we're here to fill the void. 3 black fans, different perspective, got to fill your voice. Coming with the podcast, talking majors, indies in between. Yeah, it's all that, and we're down with Fightful, better fall back. Coming for respect, we connect like a ball bat. No need to double check, these are all facts. You're listening to us talk raps. You're listening to us talk raps. Will, Phil, and Reg. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps.
Welcome. This is Monday, noon Eastern time. Not Saturday, noon Eastern time. But you know what it is. He is I, and I am him. This is Phil Lindsey. Righteous Reg. This is Grapsody. It does feel a bit weird every time we don't do it on Saturday, because it's like, wait, I have something to do today. Why am I still in bed? And it's just like, no, I don't. I'm gonna stay there.
It is your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, and your favorite podcaster. Media man is what they used to call me. They should probably bring that back. Righteous Reg here in the building. It's Monday morning, like my homeboy Philip Lindsey described. It does feel, the vibes feel different on the weekend when there's not a Saturday Grapsody. It just feels like you said, like something's missing. Like, I was supposed to be doing, like, what was I supposed to be doing? And you remember, oh yeah. So Monday, appreciate you guys joining us today. I'm very excited to be here. What's up with you, Phil?
I immediately realized how much I usually do on Friday and Saturdays for this podcast because I had plenty of free time on Friday. Other than I did the post show for Ring of Honor Final Battle, but other than that, like most of the stuff I usually do on Friday night, I didn't have to do, and then I got up the next day and I was like, oh, I don't have anything to do. I can just stay in bed. All right.
Staying in bed. That's quite an adventure, man. Like, pretty underrated trait going on there. I didn't know that you covered the ROH post show. I was pretty off the internet. I'm glad we're going to get into it here because that show was fire.
Yeah, I got the option of door number 1 or door number 2 on Friday night, and I was like, yeah, I'll take door number 1. So yeah, check that out. That is still on Fightful's YouTube channel. Me and the homie SP3 ran down a card for Ring of Honor Final Battle. We'll go over that card in a bit. But yeah, you were in the LA area. GCW. Some stuff was happening.
Yeah, a couple of things went on, Philip Lindsey. I took a little trip down to LA, did a pod with my homegirl, Denise Salcedo. Definitely check that out. Silly shenanigans went on there for sure. And yeah, I didn't let anybody know what was going on while I was really there in LA and what was going to go on. And so I made my little commentary debut for Game Changer Wrestling on Saturday, GCW highest in the room. And Phil, I don't know I don't know how I got here, but I'm very excited to be here. You know, when I started this commentary journey at with the homies at West Coast Pro, it was just like I didn't know where it was going to go, what was going to happen, if I was going to like it, and I immediately was like, oh yeah, I like this a lot, so I should try to expand into other territories and other things. But a lot of wrestling companies do post-production. Like, I want to be there live talking to get the vibes and the energy. So trying to find that is become a difficult thing. And I was also like, let's just go to the top. I mean, if we're talking independent wrestling, like, who's doing it more than GCW? They're a touring company. They have shows almost every weekend. Like, they are the top of the top. So I was like, hey, can your boy come through? And they were like, yes, your boy can come through. So I got to go there and commentate 3 matches straight. It was an insanely fun time. I got to commentate my first death match. It was wild. One of the wildest things I ever seen with my own eyes and got to talk about. So yeah, Phil, it was dope. I'm really interested. I've always been interested in behind the scenes, putting together a wrestling show. West Coast Pro, I'm a part of a lot of things that happen before the show and being out there and talking with people. So it was fun to do that on the GCW side because they're a totally different thing. They got different people, but I got some homies over there. It was so much fun. Shout out to everybody that checked it out. Shout out to everybody that sent love to me and say they watched it. Like, it was a super dope weekend. Shout out to those homies.
Yeah, go figure. At one point, there was a flyer out for some other commentary work that didn't happen.
There you go.
And this is where we got from here.
That's so funny because I was like, maybe this is it. When that came out, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna, they might get me out of here. This might be one and done with that. But did a little rollout and recovered, and here we go. We back. You right? Here we go. Right to this. That's so funny. I erased that out of my brain, dog. That was this year.
That's what I'm saying. That was all of this year. That was a potential gig that didn't happen. Gig with West Coast Pro.
A potential gig is hella funny.
That's what it was, right? It was a potential gig.
It was a potential gig with the homies at Oasis Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Man, the homies at Oasis Pro haven't called me back since I was like, I can't make that gig for this reason. Like, I don't want to, I'm not putting nobody on blast or anything, but I haven't heard from them at all since I was like, I can't do it.
Has the other guy had some more gigs up there since then?
He ain't been back either. So what's going on here?
Dang, man. See, that should be maybe they can slide you another invite, man. It's just gotta change the who all gonna be there. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. Let me know before. Like, can I get the little rundown? Like, I know what wrestlers are gonna be there. They be putting out the flyers and stuff. But can you also let me know who all gonna be there? Because they didn't let me who all was gonna be there before I was gonna be there.
Yeah, man. That's dope though, man. Hopefully that was fun. They had a whole weekend of shows in LA, or is it just the one show?
No, they had a show in Seattle the night before, and then LA on Saturday.
Yeah, a lot of wrestling over the weekend. NXT had a show. Ashe, as we talked to Darius Lockhart last week, Ashe's 2-year anniversary also took place this weekend.
You watched it?
Yeah, I did. It was good. Indie wrestling is so interesting because indie wrestling, I don't care who hosts it, it all has some of the same vibes to it. And if you're a fan of indie wrestling, like, this is cool. And this is like it's indie wrestling, but you can tell there's black people behind this.
Absolutely. That's really it. That's so funny that you describe it that way, because that is how it is. Like, the West Coast Pro show it's different than the GCW show, but there's so many similarities that are there and that happen. And you watch an Ashe show, it's a black show. There's a lot of black elements. There's music. There's the vibes, but it's an indie wrestling show when it gets down to it, because it's all indie wrestling, indie wrestlers working on it. You know what I mean?
Yes. I believe there was a Warrior Wrestling show here. I did not go, but I think that was this weekend. Yeah, a ton of wrestling. If you guys were here last week, I was in great spirits. Chicago Bears were on a winning streak, number 1 in the NFC. And if you guys remember, a lot of people like, man, I'm surprised you haven't hit these bombs. I knew we were playing the next week as the Green Bay Packers, and I was like, wait a minute, let's just wait till we get past the Packers, and then I'll get as excited, because there's quite a history with this team of us being in a great place, and then we play that particular team and everything changes. Historically, 2010-2011 season, the Bears were number 1 in the division, led the division. I believe they were like 10-4 or something like that. Sorry, no, they were they ended up 10-3 to end that season or something like that. I don't remember. But yeah, they were number 1 in the division. They played the Green Bay Packers the last game of the season. They let the Packers win that game by 7 points. And that's how the Packers got into the playoffs. The Packers if they would have lost that game, they wouldn't have made it into the playoffs. So the Packers made it into the playoffs as a wild card. If you remember that season, you know where I'm going. The Bears end up playing the Packers in the NFC Championship. Jay Cutler gets hurt. The Packers win that game and go on and win a Super Bowl. And that's one of those. That's one of those instances where we've been riding high, and it's always that team. I almost said another word. It's always that team every time. And so I knew it. Five games straight. I was like, all right, I feel like we can beat this team. And they put up a great fight. It was a really good game. But I was sitting there at the end. I was like, always this team. Every time. I hate this team. I hate this city. I hate Aaron Rodgers. I hate Brett Favre. I hate Wranglers. I hate this team.
We all hate Wranglers. We all down with a lot of people hate Brett Favre. So there's a lot of people on your side. They've been a thorn in the Chicago's Bears side for your entire life, Phil Lindsey. There hasn't been one day where you guys are like, we're friends. Like, let's get down. Let's hang out. Like, it's always been this heated. They've always been sitting there towards the end to be like, we're going to either screw up your season. We're going to have some kind of wrench in your little plans. And they're happy about doing it too.
Yeah, and as people pointed out, a lot of Bears fans, they were talking a lot of trash the entire week because we're up. Right. Number one in the division. We were number one in the conference. We were feeling good. And that is the worst thing that could happen to us as sports fans in this city for us to feel good. And that's why I kept looking around like, wait a minute, guys. Because my dad he was like, oh, we got the Packers. I was like, I think we can split that. And he was like, no, we got them both times. I was like, okay. And I haven't heard from him since. I haven't heard from him since Saturday night, man. And so, yeah, I just of all the teams to break our winning streak, it had to be them. I hate them so much, man. Yeah, Jose, man. I'm not too mad at Caleb for that last throw. He threw an interception on the last play. But he was playing really good. He probably one of his best games this season. We were marching up the field. But I feel like it's more on the defense for giving up touchdowns right after we kept scoring more than Caleb. I feel like that was a bad interception, but it's Caleb trying to make big plays as a second-year player. But he played really well.
Sometimes you got to do that. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of a part of being a second-year guy and trying things.
Yeah, now it doesn't help him that he had DJ Moore like wide open right in front of him, and he tried to throw it into the end zone and make this big play that he did not need to make. But again, it isn't entirely his fault that we lost that game. I know people are going to put the blame on him, but the defense did cough up a touchdown right after we scored in the fourth quarter. We had it was like a 17-play drive, and they gave up a touchdown right after that.
Mm-hmm. That is long.
Yeah, I cut everything off. There were people trying to do the usual. I was like, yeah, no. If it was any other team, I wouldn't have been nearly as annoyed. But I was like, God, it's always them every time, man.
I cut everything off. It's so funny. Well, it's not over, Phil. Chicago Bears are they could still be out here. They can recover. They could come back. That can inspire them. They could be like, the Packers did it to us again. Let's move forward with Viction and angriness, you know?
They could still end up winning the division. Right. Because, they split with Minnesota. They've got Detroit coming up. Then they've got Green Bay again on the 20th. They can still win a division, but yeah. I just hate every time we're riding high. It's always that team. It just never fails, man. And people get way too confident. Oh, we got them. Nah. Let this play out first. I thought for sure nothing agitated me more than possibly going to the Super Bowl that year, and the team that we let into the playoffs as a wild card, beating them in the conference finals. That was a very painful year for me as a Chicago sports fan. Very painful year. Bulls were good that year. That was probably the best year the Bulls have had in a long time. 2011.
I do not want to talk about basketball. It's horrible over here. Every time I turn on a game and they're like, Steph's out, Draymond's out, Jimmy's, I'm like, oh, turn all this off. And they're playing like those three guys are out, Phil. It's like when you have such amazing players that could kind of lead a team and make the court work a certain way, and then they're gone, and it's essentially a bunch of the next generation. You're like, oh, it's about to be tough out here when you're used to a certain kind of
guys are now.
Yeah, you see a certain kind of
once Jimmy starts publicly criticizing the team, it's not good. I saw some of the things he was saying, and I was like, he's right. But once we start trending in that direction, not good. The Bulls are not much better. They're terrible at the moment. They've lost to 3 of the worst teams in the conference. They lost to the Nets the other night, which I was just like, why? How are you losing to the Nets? There are name me 5 players that are on the Nets right now. I'm sure most of the people in this chat cannot. And we're losing to that team. What's going
on? Unbelievable, man. It seems like the tide has shifted, Phil. You could just feel it. It's in the other side. They're talking about your homeboy LeBron James and his recent string of struggles, I'd say, or trying to readjust or what's going on. And it's like, just hang him up, big dog. We saw it. You got it. You got all the accolades. They're in your corner. You got it. Hang him up.
He's gonna get a farewell tour. He's not gonna finish before he gets a farewell tour. But yeah, the other night and him his streak for the most games over double digits was on the line, and he was shooting like 4 for 17. He was bad.
He was awful.
And he ended up making the game-winning assist to Rui Hachimura in the corner, and people were like, "This is the most unselfish play he's made in his entire career." I was like, "Boy, the spin is crazy, bro. The spin is wild, bro." And I'm like, "Y'all got it though. Hey, man, great play."
I'd love Phil to have like a trash game, a trash experience, and then at the end change it up, and they're like, "This is why he's GOAT." They're like, "No, what about the horrible game that he had before that, though?"
Nah, man. Most unselfish play, the most important play. I saw people saying the most important play he's made of this year. I was like, geez. Yeah, this is where we're at, man.
They will flip anything for the homie. Like, I mean, we've seen it for 15, 20 years at this point. Like, he's been the golden boy. They're going to finish strong. He's going to get, like you said, the old Sting farewell tour, where a couple of guys are going to put him over on the way out just because they're big fans. So it's going to be pretty silly, but I'm not mad at it. He keeps going out with these. He's back, but then he's out for a game with these old man, just like
he's back out now. He's got like arthritis or something.
Yeah, right.
On the IR, and then he's still claiming that he has pain from this sciatic nerve. I don't know if people realize how painful a sciatic nerve is. Like, you can't. No, you're not playing basketball. You're not walking around. You're laid up. It's a very painful injury. Well, it's very painful in general. Like, so, yeah.
With the arthritis too. Ooh wee. Them is old man injuries. Look, you've done it, my guy. Hang them up. Your kid's here now. Just become that coach dad like you've been wanting to for your whole life, so we can stop with this pain. You still be in the spotlight. They're never going to stop talking about you till the end of time. Whatever you do, they're going to be in your corner, and you got all the rings and accolades and trophy. He don't care. He's still going to be out there. I'm not mad. That's a lot of money on the line, Phil.
He'll be back. He'll be back. Lakers are doing well enough. Well, he'll be back in the mix.
Last night, when I got back from Los Angeles, I turned on Netflix and I watched 2 episodes of a very horrible documentary experience, whatever you want to call it. And I had an uneasy sleep. Like, that's how horrible the things that I saw.
Epstein doc?
No, felt like it. I watched the Black Epstein doc. Sean P. Diddy Combs.
I actually, funny enough, did watch the Epstein doc like last weekend, and I was like, yeah, this guy was awful. Which is not a surprise based on anything you knew about him, but yeah, actually seeing it laid out, I was like, geez. But yeah, I haven't watched any of this Puff doc.
That's
I think some of the press has been nasty.
Okay, go ahead. Exactly what you described there is how I felt about the 2 episodes that I watched of this doc. Like, we know about it. Like, we're hip hop connoisseurs, Phil. We know all the news, but the way that they like laid it out, and you kind of see where he laid and how the pieces that he laid down into these famous situations, you're like, throw this guy underneath the jail, you guys. Like, I don't know how for so many years he was just out dancing. Like the end of the episode that I watched, number 2, it's the Biggie tribute with Sting.
Mhm.
And then when you see the build up to it and you're like, this fool danced out there and paraded around after this. Like, I can't believe this guy. Like, I kept saying that I watched 2 episodes and I said, fuck this guy at least 25 times, like out loud to myself. Like, I can't believe he like reigned over hip hop for so long after being one of the most terrible individuals in the history. Like, it's unbelievable. I still feel uneasy. I don't even know if I'm going to finish the rest of this doc. That's how uneasy I felt about it. Cause like, I have such a connection to hip hop. Like, I went into it being like, there is going to be some hip hop history in there. And I fucking love hip hop history, but it's bad hip hop history.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of it. Funny enough, like I said, I did end up watching the Epstein doc. I know where, and then I ended up watching the Charlie Sheen doc, which, yeah, Charlie Sheen's a wild dude, man.
You had a wild lineup of docs going on there, Philip Lindsey from Epstein.
Yeah,
the big homie,
it suggested that when
Sheen.
I came on Netflix the other day, and I was like, I guess I'll turn it on and watch it. Amelia was like, "Have you seen this Charlie Sheen doc yet?" And I was like, "No." And so I was like, "Yeah, let's see what it is." And then I was like, "Oh yeah, this dude is wild." Which, I mean, I already knew that, but also some of the stuff that I didn't know, I was like, "Oh yeah, he was out there."
My guy Charlie Sheen.
I'm glad he's still with us.
Huh?
Yeah, glad he's still with us. Glad he's still doing well because he was living hard at one point. I was like, I don't know if he's gonna make it into the next decade at one point.
If that's one of the reviews for your documentaries, it's crazy. Glad he's still with. If you watch it and you say glad he's still with us, like it went down.
Dude, glad he's still with us. There's a clip of him at something for like the most recent fight. And they had all these celebrities next to Mr. Beast, and they're all doing the like punching bag machine. And so it's like Wiz Khalifa, Angel Reese, and all these other people like taking turns at hitting the punching machine. And Charlie Sheen standing there. Mr. Beast like, "Hey, you want to punch the bag?" And he's like, "No." And that's where the clip cuts off. Just straight out, just flat. No.
I might have to check this out though, man, because like Charlie Sheen was around when like the 90s, brother. Like brother was outside doing backflips, doing crazy shit. So
Bro,
I could imagine the kind of shenanigans that went on in this.
Bro, they were paying that guy just to do a tour, just to sit on stage and talk because people were just so enthralled with this guy showing up places insanely high, just saying gibberish. People were paying money to go and watch this guy sit on a stage and just rant and rave. Like, crazy, bro.
Damn. Now I'm making connections because the homeboy that we hate, that's a rapper from Chicago, started doing that on stage and all of his shows are horrible. And people were paying to go and watch this guy give out his insane stories, winning and all that crazy shit. Like, that's how he was on a hit show, #1 cable show or #1 network television show for years, and then like still was going crazy. I have to watch this, Phil. You got me. I'm interested.
Yeah, a wild dude, man. One of the movies that he turned down early on, this was my first take on, oh, this guy's lived a crazy life. One of the first movies he turned down, I was like, oh, I'm immediately in.
Which one?
So when he first started acting, his dad, Martin Sheen, told him like, your word is important. So you can't just like say you're not going to show up. He was supposed to go and film this movie called Grizzly 2 or something. Like it was like a bad B movie. I did look. Dad's calling me now. I'll call him back. So yeah, he's supposed to do this bad like B movie called like Grizzly 2, and some people wanted him to go and do karate training instead because they wanted him to train for this movie, and he couldn't do both because he was like, okay, well, the shoot for Grizzly 2 will take a few days, and if they could wait for me. But his dad was like, don't just not show up to do this Grizzly 2 taping. You've already given them your word. And so he doesn't go and do karate training, which was going to turn into him being the lead actor in Karate Kid. Yeah. So
I'm blown away.
Yeah, so he told them he couldn't make it. They ended up going with Ralph Macchio instead.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Whoa, dude. That's like, I thought you were gonna be like, oh, some cool movie. No, he missed out on like a lifetime of franchise. Like I just watched the latest Karate Kid movie that Ralph Macchio was in. Like he would have had to resurrect. Like he would have been through 20 different things, but also he might have been saddled with being the Karate Kid for his entire life. So there are some downsides and upsides to both.
He ended up all right.
I'd say so.
He ended up all right, but yeah, he was not happy after his dad gave him that advice. But ended up working out. His dad was always in his corner, so ended up working out. Send us in your super chats. That is the best way to get your chats read on this here podcast. You can also send us a humper chat at humperchats.com/Fightful.
I always appreciate y'all sending in super chats, humper chats, supporting the podcast in any way. Grapsody.com for merch, the Grapsody YouTube page, like any way that you guys contribute, y'all are the best. We only have one super chat for now. The homie Other Mikey V says, was Saturday Dorada's best match in the US? I haven't watched it yet.
Pretty good match. Pretty surprised win for him. I think a lot of people thought he was going to be in this tournament eating pins. Picked up a pretty big win. But yeah, we'll get into week 2 of the Continental Classic in a few.
I am happy that they gave him a win so early and like to kind of establish something, so it feels a little bit like in the future he could get another one. I think this is a good way to establish it. Appreciate that, Mikey V.
Yeah. We've got some humper chats. I'm just waiting for the screen to flip over and show it to me. But here it is. We got 2 from Tony P. He says, Petty of the week is Notre Dame football for saying, fuck you, Pop-Tarts. Also, don't let me get started on their fans that don't understand that head-to-head wins matter. They beat out Vanilla Baby and the ladies of JD. Who would you have chosen? No, I think you got it. I think Notre Dame works. There are probably some other. No, there might be young Curtis Jackson. The press tour that this guy's been on. He's got his church suit on. He's got like the most shit-eating grin I've ever seen him have in my entire time. Knowing this guy as a pop culture figure. That story that he only wanted to do the interview with ABC to promote this documentary because ABC is one of the few channels that actually played in prison. Yeah, very, very, very petty, vindictive man.
After watching those 2 episodes, it's far and away Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. The people that he got to talk are people that are super close that helped start Bad Boy and were on the journey up with him. So it's like you're getting the real stories. And when he sees this doc and sees the people that were talking about him, he's going to be like, this is unbelievable. So yes, definitely 50 Cent. Like to put this much information and do this much time into it so quickly and get it all out there was a feat. So yes, 50 Cent.
Yeah. Tony P also says the good final battle, Bailey and Lodestone. Yeah, shout out to Bailey, man. That is super dope. He says also Chiefs being losers. Chiefs are officially out of the running. They cannot win the AFC. They lost over the weekend. The U in the C2 on both shows. Kendall Gray, the bad, normal WWE TV, Bama football, CFP committee. My Heat, Stacks beating Macklin, Sarah Stock, the Diddy Doc. Peace and love, y'all.
You started rhyming at the end there. Sarah Stock, the Diddy Doc. I'm like, whoa. Those are some.
That's how he wrote it.
What's going on? Yeah, there's
Yeah,
some
it's wild.
stay off the internet's people that were going off this weekend. A lot of information's being presented, a lot of things are happening, but like maybe hop off the internet for a minute.
Yeah, I just don't think we got to engage everybody. Sometimes when people are veering off a cliff and they're saying a bunch of things, you don't have to keep responding to them and trying to argue with them and dunk on them. It's not the best look for anybody involved. I think we should let these things slowly die down on their own. And when you continue to throw logs and fuel on a flame, it's just going to keep going.
And like a lot of this is not your fight. There are people out there that are fighting for something that they don't even just don't. It's like you're not. You're fine. Just sit on the sidelines.
Yeah, I saw people in response because I have not. I've stayed far away from all of that. But I've seen people saying in response like, "Oh, none of this is true. All of these receipts." And it's like, yeah, but you don't know that. Like, how about just let everybody relax? Let everybody relax.
Yeah, like just keep all your comments. It's too like way too nasty for me to ever want to do anything. I'm not quote tweeting. I'm not responding nothing. I don't want no parts of this because I don't like how it looks. I don't like behind the scenes things being presented like this, true or false, because I feel like there's a different way to present it. There's a different way to do it. Twitter being the space for you to unload all this and this information age and all this stuff. It's like there's a lot of stuff that I'm like, I don't know. I wouldn't have done that.
No, Twitter is not the place for reasonable, rational conversation about anything. So yeah. But last time we were here, we did preview WWE Survivor Series. This show was not well received by most people. I believe people were talking about it even this morning. It's considered the worst pay-per-view this year. It wasn't very good. I will say that. And I actually reviewed that show for Fightful. And it wasn't very good. I think they've got to move away from just doing the War Games match just for the sake of. I think that they should do War Games match when the stories justify it. And I think that was the biggest glaring issue for me, at least. Like the women's match, it was fine, but it didn't need to be a War Games match. I think if it was just a 5v5 elimination match, it would have been fine. But as a War Games match, I thought it was pretty safe and paint by numbers. And the men's match was better, but it was kind of the same, where if you're used to WWE's version of War Games now, this is it. And I feel like they probably should just put that stipulation away for a while and do something else, because it's just grown stale. They do the same exact spots every year. As great as EO is, like, we've seen the trash can spot so many times, it doesn't feel special anymore. I think they need to shuffle the deck, put some different people in these matches, because it feels like it's the same wrestlers in it. It's the same presentation around it. They use war pigs. Everything around it is the same. Just do something different. That's all. It's okay. Do something else.
Let the homie Cody Rhodes got to do the match, so we could put it to rest for a couple of years at this point. Like, if it gets to something super hot,
he's done two of them already.
Exactly. If it gets to something that needs to get inside that War Games again, to get something that's that hot, do it. But just doing it because it's November has been not that successful for the last couple of years. I thought this was super safe. When someone would come out and the wrestlers, an entrance would start and everybody would stop wrestling to look at the entrance, I'm like, what? I thought this is we're supposed to be angry, a blood feud. You stop beating someone up to look, and everybody's reacting and surprised and making faces, and I have to stand on my mark. I'm like, you guys, fight. That's just fight. That's it. I know none of this matters to anybody, but punch each other.
Yeah, so that led to one of the most divisive bits from the show. Jey Uso, during his entrance again, during the War Games match. People were very not happy about this. And then people were very not happy with the people that were very not happy about it, which turned into the usual. Why don't you guys like fun? Why can't you let people enjoy this? And I just thought it looked dopey. I thought it made Jay look silly. You're doing this big, serious match where, you know, this is supposed to be this grudge match, and you stop in the middle of it to do your interest music, and I just didn't think it fit. I mean, and it fit with the criticism of WWE pay-per-views and shows being, you know, a bit too silly and too staged. And yeah, I didn't think this made Jay look good. But this is what they do all the time. They take something that works, that's hot, and then they'll run it into the ground. I mean, case in point, the EO spot. Got to run it into the ground. The Yeet thing, we got to run it into the ground. Every time something gets hot, we have to run it into the ground. It's like, yeah, you know, you don't have to do it over and over again until we get tired of it.
Why, if something is bad, Phil, do we not like fun? I think we just talked about this last week. We love fun, you guys. I want fun in my wrestling. I want to have a good time. I want to be in the crowd yelling for wrestling, but there's a certain way to do it. If the fun is we're stopping this legendary bloody contest, that's something to yeet, then I don't know. Maybe I don't like fun.
Yeah. Nah, you started it. It sounded kind of like Trump. We love fun. We love to eat. We love Jey Uso. Comes out, he does his dance. Really good guy.
Horrible, awful, terrible. But yeah, that was pretty egregious. No lie. Like,
we might hear that next weekend.
Yeah, honestly. Stopping an entire match to yeet with the crowd and the guys stop to look at you, and this is it's viral and all this. Like, oh man, wrestling is WWE is WWE, man.
It wasn't for me. Then the Stephanie Nikki match wasn't great. The crowd didn't care about it. Dom and John Cena had a match, which led to Liv Morgan's return, which was, you know, probably going to end up being one of the most talked about moments of the night. But yeah, I think the worst thing about this entire situation, the match, the weeks leading to it, is it all ended up feeling very inconsequential in the end. The build to it, it felt like, oh, okay, that just happened in a vacuum, and now we've just moved on. Like, we're not talking about any of that anymore. They didn't do any of this stuff we wanted them to do with Braun Breaker for weeks to build to this War Games match, and we were subjected to bad Logan Paul segment where he was standing in the background doing nothing. And then once we got through with that, he cut that great promo on Monday night, and I'm like, hey, why didn't we do that a month ago instead of wasting our time with this nothing build to War Games? And yeah.
I mean, there's a lot around this debates and the things the last couple of months about Dom Mysterio and ages and Braun Breaker. And we've seen a lot of people say, coming into this War Games and I guess the title tournament, that Braun Breaker should be the guy. Braun Breaker's the one. Mm-hmm. If we're talking about ready for this right now, the future of your company, gonna tear it down, it's Braun Breaker. The two best things that I saw this week from the WWE were, I saw that clip of Kendall Gray cooking in NXT, and I was like, that shit's hard. Shout out to Kendall Gray. I'm interested in more of that. And number two is that promo that we're talking about right now with Braun Breaker. Like, you can't watch that and say why are you looking in any other direction? When he was walking around with that championship, Phil, for a week or whatever that he had it while Seth's things were up in the air, he looked like the part. He looked like a world champion. We've seen him on TV and what he's been doing the last year or so, tearing shit down. Like, he fits the part. And then to do a promo like that with intensity, it felt like old school pro wrestling. It felt like getting to the point. I'm a pro wrestler and I'm going to kick your ass on this date. Like, everything we loved about pro wrestling. Make him the guy. Strap him up, Phil. Like, what's going on? Why are we waiting on this? Are they going to do it?
I don't know. The match is now set. for I think it's January 5th episode of Dynamite. Sorry, not Dynamite. Raw. Well, totally different show. January 5th episode of WWE Raw. It will be CM Punk versus Braun Breaker for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I'm not sure if I believe they're going to put the belt on him then, but I think they should. I think they should have put the belt on him a month ago. But yeah, the promo was really good. I think the best thing coming out of the War Games match is that he ended up getting the pin in the end. He came out of it standing strong. He took a nasty looking bump in that match, and he was clearly shaken up. He did not look good, and I was like, I'm glad that he got up and walked. He even mentioned that in a promo on Monday. I was like, yeah, I'm glad that he's okay, because that looked nasty.
I remember in 1997, Henry Godwin and the Road Warriors, and it happened on Monday Night Raw, that Doomsday Device, and he landed right on his neck and broke his neck. And this was very reminiscent of that Doomsday Device from Cody and Punk, and he landed right on top of his dome, as bad as you can land on that. And people were trying to place blame and do all these things. And it's like, it's wrestling, you guys. Like, it doesn't have to come down to all that. It's dangerous at points. But yeah, good thing he came out of it and got the victory, cut that insane promo. Who knows if they'll strap him up, but like, you got it right
It's
here,
time.
you guys. We don't have to wait. It's time. It's the guy. He's second generation. Everything you would love about this. Like, it feels like that's it.
Yeah, I thought that was one of the better highlights, is that he picked up the win. He came out on top. We've got another mass mystery man. That was another during the War Games match. I was just like, do something else. We're back to doing the hooded guy stuff. It's very clearly Austin Theory. I mean, I don't think there's much mystery here.
I do like how there is a mystery around a wrestler we're talking about. One Mr. Y2J Chris Jericho was like, the good thing about a mask gimmick is it could be anybody. Like, it doesn't even have to be the person that did the deed that night. I'm like, you're right, Chris Jericho. It can be anybody.
Yeah, I'm sure, Jericho. I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty clearly Austin Theory. There have been reports about Austin Theory coming back and being a part of Vision for a while. So we'll see where that goes. Like I said, Liv is back in the mix. They're doing the can Judgment Day stay together, or are they going to split up? Storyline coming out of this. Dom is a double champion again. Yeah, he just won the Intercontinental Championship back, which is again to my point of how the build to this pay-per-view felt like everything happened here in this vacuum, and after it was over, none of it mattered. Cena won the Intercontinental Championship on Raw, and then just lost it right back to him. It's like, okay, so what was the point of any of that? I don't know.
Good thing we have this topic set for this show, because I have some questions, Phil, about this little John Cena bit and what a win is going to mean on Saturday and how we got here, man, because I am super confused about a number of steps to get here.
Yes, so we do have the final match for John Cena set. The last time is now. Tournament is officially over. Gunther picked up the win. He is officially heading to Saturday Night Main Event to be John Cena's final opponent. I don't think that's much of a surprise. I think it was kind of a predictable outcome when we saw the way the bracket was laid out. And I think that Gunther makes a lot of sense. Gunther, for my money, even though people are like, oh, I don't want Gunther to win, he was really the highlight of this tournament. All of his matches were the best matches of the tournament. He had a fire match with Javon Evans. Him and Carmelo had a fire match. He even had like a great match with Solo Sikoa, probably one of the best Solo Sikoa matches I've seen recently. And then he had a good match with LA Knight. So I think he made sense as the winner. Where it gets a little bit murky, and I can see where you're going with your question. If John Cena is already losing matches coming up to this tournament and his final match, doesn't really do what it's supposed to do if other people were already beating him on his farewell tour. I if you're leading up to this Saturday night main event and he was undefeated or he had like a winning streak, that's a bit different. But he just lost in his last pay-per-view appearance to Dominic Mysterio. So, but that's part one, Exhibit A, in my case as to why I think Gunther is probably going to lose this match.
That's it. I think that's where we were gonna lead and get to with all of this. Yeah, I've been super confused about the Gunther stuff, Phil, because I feel like a year ago I saw everybody online being like, I can't wait to see Gunther retire John Cena. Like, he's gonna beat this fool up and they're gonna have a title match, and Gunther's gonna grind him into dust. He's gonna be finished. But all I've been seeing in the last month is, I hope Gunther isn't in this match and I hope he doesn't beat John Cena. I'm like, but wait, what happened? How did we get from there to here with so many people changing their mind on this? I'm like, I thought this was pretty established that Gunther was going to be the one to come in here and finish this guy off. That's kind of feels like the story they've been telling with him as a superstar, and people have been asking this question every time Gunther's had an interview for like the last 3 years. They mentioned John Cena. Something's been attached to it. So like, it felt like this is where we're going to get. And like you said, he's had the matches in the tournament, probably the best matches of the tournament. Like, this felt like his tournament too. So I've been so confused why people are like, I hope this doesn't happen. I think we know what this is, Phil. We know what Saturday's about to be. It's about to be a celebration of John Cena. Like, it's more about being in the match with John Cena than it is about beating John Cena or losing to John Cena, which historically goes against what wrestling history has shown us, I guess, but that doesn't matter. This is the John Cena show. But what does this do for Gunther, I guess, is my question.
Yeah, I definitely feel like we know where it's going. We're getting the quote. We love Cena. Good wrestler. Never gave up. Yeah, I don't know. I think that it feels like Gunther's losing this match, guys. Just the way they're building this up. They just had John Cena's dad on a podcast, and he's like, "Boy, I hope he doesn't retire my son. It doesn't make sense for him to be the guy." We've seen other podcasters and all these other people online saying, "I hope it's not Gunther," and it's weird because I don't know where that came from either. Because initially coming into this year, a lot of people wanted Gunther to get one of these farewell matches against John Cena. I think people just didn't want it to be his last match, and.
Gotcha.
I mean, Gunther just had a retirement match on Saturday Night Main Event with Goldberg, and that basically came and went, which is Exhibit B, why I think Gunther is losing, because I don't think that they would come out of that match and make it feel that predictable that he's already retired somebody else, and then have him go in and retire John Cena. Then when he wins the match on Friday night, he's like, I'm going to force you to tap out. I'm going to force the guy that never gives up to tap out. And I was like, yep, that's part of the build for John to not give up and to not tap out to him and beat him. Exhibit C. Exhibit D is Gunther is a foreign heel, and John Cena famously beats all foreign heels. It's going to be in Washington, D.C. of all places. I don't see Gunther winning here, guys. And
Exhibit F is your boy Donnie's going to be in the building in Washington, D.C. Like, it's a wrap.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it would be incredibly ironic if the guy that ended up retiring him is this big, unstoppable foreign heel. Yeah, I think that would be great. But in Washington, D.C., with this current run, the way they're doing things, I don't see that happening. I definitely feel like Gunther is going to lose here. And I feel like they're going to paint it as, oh, well, we used the Saturday Night Main Event with Goldberg to start building the story to this of why Gunther is this big, unstoppable guy that has retired somebody else, but not John Cena.
Whew, there's a lot in there, Phil, because I feel like this could end with John Cena waving the American flag around in the middle of the Saturday night's main event show. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this so far. I mean, I think the crowd and people that are going to be there are going to outweigh a lot of that stuff, but it's going to be super interesting to see how they do it.
Yes. Yeah, and I think a lot of people are so used to wrestlers going out on their back. That's usually like a tradition in wrestling. A wrestler losing their last match. I think Cena's gonna win, guys, and I think also it's the opening match. I'm pretty certain he's made the point of saying he doesn't want a main event. He wants the show to be used to showcase NXT talent. He doesn't want to be the main eventer. If it opens, that's even more reason why I think Cena's gonna win.
Absolutely. I mean, John, I don't know where to land with this because he keeps telling stories on interviews that like it's not his thing. Like he's just here along for the ride. To some of the bad stuff he wasn't really trying to be a part of. And then he does something like this where he's like, I want to be the first match and I want to showcase the future, where I'm like, that's dope, John Cena. Like that's a really cool concept, because this could have been a completely different last show for him. Like it sounds like they were initially gonna just have it as the John Cena showcase. It's all about him, where everybody's gonna be doing John Cena tribute matches essentially, and he turned it into something that's much greater than him. So I commend him for that, because I know he had to have a part in that. I hope so, at least.
Yes, we have the matches set that it looks like are going to be the NXT talent coming up. We've got Sol Ruka versus Bayley. I believe that was announced on SmackDown. Then the winner of the NXT Championship match from Saturday night is going to face Cody Rhodes. Now we know that's going to be Obafemi. Obafemi will be facing Cody Rhodes, and what I assume is probably going to be the main event. I was very shocked that Obafemi regained the championship. He's now a 2-time NXT champion. I thought for sure we were heading towards Ricky Saints versus Cody when they announced the stipulation.
Come on.
Now, I mean, I do think this is the right call, because I think Oba is more ready at this very moment to move ahead and come to the main roster. I think that he has the most people anticipating his call up. So it makes sense if this is going to be a show where you want to spotlight NXT wrestlers that are like the future, it makes sense to have Oba on this card.
This almost might end up working better for Oba than if he would have been in the tournament, like people were initially saying. If the show starts with John Cena beating Gunther and riding off into the sunset, and the show ends with Obafemi with his arms raised, foot on top of Cody Rhodes, and that's the lasting impression that we get off of this, is going to be a big show. A shit ton of people are going to watch this because it's the last John Cena matches. That's going to be gigantic for Oba, and I'm super excited about it. Yeah, when I opened my phone and I saw, Oba's the champion again, I was like, wait, what? Huh? What? Because like, if it's an opportunity against Cody Rhodes, I was like, Ricky finally got his little moment. He finally did it. He finally broke through. Like, this is the thing that he's been waiting for. It feels like for years now. He's going to have his big match. But I feel exactly how you do, Phil. Oba is ready. He's been ready for a long time. It's going to feel monumental, him out there looking like a big star against Cody Rhodes. Like, that makes the most sense. And like I said, if he ends the show with his arms raised, that's going to be huge.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw a lot of people talking, and I was like, yep, let's temper these expectations, guys, because I think it makes sense for Oba to win as well. But people are just so matter-of-factly, Oba's winning. It's like, let's get there first. Let's get there first. It is Cody Rhodes. I think it makes sense for Oba to get the win here, but we shall see. I don't know yet.
We also are in, like you were describing, in Washington, D.C. So, I mean, I said John Cena could end the show, but logically, Cody Rhodes with the American flag in the middle of the ring in Washington, D.C. makes even more sense. So, who knows?
It absolutely does. But yeah, I always felt like they shouldn't have put Oba in a tournament. Even when people were saying he needs to be in a tournament, I didn't agree, because I'm like, if he's not going to win a tournament, then don't do that, because you're setting him up for failure. If you're not going to go all in and give him the win and put him in the match at Saturday Night Main Event and give him the win over Cena, don't do it.
Right. Right, exactly. Like if it was going to be the same situation and he was in Gunther's spot and he was just going to get beat and that was it, like, no, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But there's going to be a lot of eyes on this show. And if he ends it with this incredible showing against Cody and he looks like a massive star and we're moving forward, it's going to be great for him. So super excited about that. He cut a promo or something that I saw afterwards describing the Cody Rhodes match. And I was like,
Hard.
oh, yeah, we're going. This guy gets it. He got it. We're on our way up, I think.
Yeah, that promo was hard. Definitely looking forward to seeing this guy on the main roster. I hope that they don't squander him. Again, I keep thinking the reason that I'm not as worried as I would be for other wrestlers is he's their guy. He's their homegrown project, and I think they have vested interest in making this work. And so it's different if he's just an indie guy. This is their guy. This is basically a guy they built up from scratch. So they have vested interest in making sure this works.
It's interesting, these types of wrestlers these days and how the system works, because like we've seen 99% of his matches we have them on streaming service. Like they do some, NXT does some house shows and things, but like most of the time we've seen this guy or he's wrestled has been in front of a camera, in front of a crowd, in front of people. So like he's done the things and he's been trained for the situation. So it should feel like we say how ridiculous it is, Phil, for like them, because people's expectations are he comes in, he wins the Royal Rumble, he beats somebody at WrestleMania, and then we're off to the races. Like that's not the craziest thing in the world because he's already been in the system. I don't expect that to happen though, but like it totally could happen.
Yeah. As you said, people were very much on the Kendall Gray train over the last few weeks because of that match that she had recently on NXT. She won the Women's Iron Survivors match. I think that was the right call as well because, man, they've got something in her, man. She's got a bright future. I don't like how they've kind of seemingly jumped way past Kelly Armstrong, but when you got somebody that looks this ready in Kendall Gray, I get it. And you should be spontaneous like that when somebody looks like they're ready. It shouldn't be, okay, well, we know we got to go through the paces to get there. Like, make a bold move with somebody when they start getting hot. And you can tell that there's a ton of buzz around her.
That's what kind of frustrates me about wrestling sometimes is you brought up Kelly Armstrong. Like, why can't we just have two? Like, it doesn't have to be like one. Like, we got two out here going for it. But yeah, no, Kendall Gray, cooking absolute fire. I'm happy that they're at least starting an investment in these younger people. And if it's now, it's now. And so I think there could be something added to this potentially, because I saw that the homie Leon Slater was supposed to do a booking on Saturday and he's not anymore. I'm like, I don't know. Does that mean anything? I don't know these days, but this is going to be super fun seeing the NXT people get a showcased on the Saturday Night Main Event show, just because they do got some heavy hitters out there, Phil.
Yeah, I mean, if Leon was going to be there, I assume maybe they were going to have a tag team match with him and Javon. Maybe Javon is going to have a match on his own. I said, I think Javon versus Melo makes a ton of sense. If you're going to put Javon on the show, I would be here for that. But yeah, they've got options. So I'm surprised actually with the week that Kendall Gray had that we didn't hear that Kendall Gray was going to be on the show.
I'm like, maybe we still got a couple of days to go for it. I know they like to do them short cards, but we might have to add the homegirl after not only the performance, but like the buzz. Like everybody is in on all sides are like, yeah, Kendall Gray is the one. Like I see people that only like indie wrestling that were like, nah, who's the homegirl? Like that's what was me when I saw this clip. I was like, wait, hold on, what's going on here? She's cooking. So like, I think she represents something that could be super dope on the main roster. Like she doesn't have to be locked away on fucking Evolve and NXT.
Yeah, I kind of think she should beat JC Jane. I know that fatal influence supremacy has been a thing, but I kind of think she should beat JC Jane.
Don't you do it. But yeah, that's Saturday. I have to live streaming the show with Denise because of this bet that I lost. So I'm gonna have my John Cena hat on, my John Cena shirt, and all this. I don't have any of those things. This is a bit. I definitely do not have a John Cena hat or shirt. So leave me alone. I hate you.
Forgot you're going to be a tapped in show. So it's actually looking good based on the card. Those 3 matches look like good matches.
I mean, it could be worse. Like I could be watching something completely terrible from. It could be like John Cena versus Edge is the main event, and like Randy Orton somewhere. They're like, this could have went wrong. So I'm excited that I get to tune in for this.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think going into this, it looks strong. Looks like a strong card. I do think Gunther is about to take this pin, but it is what it is. I think that this farewell tour has been flawed enough that I can't say that I'm surprised that it's going in this direction.
This is so funny. We've talked about it a lot this year, but this felt like the easiest farewell tour you could ever book. Like you got all the footage, you got like there's nothing that you need to enhance this John Cena ending. The crowd loves him. He's God. A lot of people say he's number 1 in your company's history. You could have did anything, and it seems like at every turn they were like, no, let's don't do this. Let's go this way instead. And so this feels like it. We shouldn't be talking about, he's going to go and beat Gunther, because I think he's going to go and beat Gunther. Like, it should be like somebody's going to go and beat John Cena and get put over. Nobody's really, honestly, I guess, getting put over in the sense what I thought it was going to be. And so it's just ended up at an interesting place. And he just lost a match to Dominic Mysterio in like a silly way. And it's like, I thought this, I just, so many turns that I was like, okay, that's interesting. So, but I guess like if you get one more 5-star match or something cool out of Gunther, that works for something. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, I think the Gunther match is going to be very good because, like I said, he didn't miss in the tournament at all. I thought that he had a great run in the tournament. I thought he had a really good match with Punk before he took some time off. Really, he's had a strong year in a lot of ways. But yeah, I feel like it's setting him up to take this L to John Cena. The other John Cena thing that was going around this week was David Otunga's clip, and I actually sat and listened to David's story about John. And the funny part about it is, I believe what he's saying. I just wondered, why did he decide like now to put this out?
The time is now, Phil. The time is now. Yeah. That I didn't watch that clip until late last night. I was like, "Oh yeah, the David Otunga clip," and then I clicked on it and I laughed the loudest that I've laughed in a while because I was like, "This is just." I understand because what he's saying is he was like I know the game, like especially around that time. John Cena was the top guy. He was like the company was running through him, so like they were setting all the Nexus guys up to go against him and him Super Cena and beating all of them. Like there are so many things connected to that. And we've heard some stories about John Cena giving it up in the back and hazing and some things like that. So David Otunga, for context, if you guys haven't seen, David Otunga said, out in the ring, it's a fight. John Cena's the man. Like he might be able to get over on him, and he could. He's a superstar, so he couldn't do that in the ring. Backstage, John Cena would verbally abuse and harass him in front of the other boys and make him look small, but he could not put hands on John Cena backstage because that's the protocol. That's the top guy. If you beat up John Cena, you could get fired. He said, but if this was a real fight, I would have beat John Cena's ass. I wish he would have tested me is where it landed, and I would have fucked him up. And I'm like, but why though? So you watch the whole thing, Phil, or you watch more of it? Does he add any more context? Like, why did he, you said it, why did he pick now to be like, I would have beat this fool's ass?
I don't know why he picked now. I watched a good amount of this clip and I still came away from it like, but what made you decide to tell this story now? I mean, don't get me wrong. It was an interesting story. I thought one of the most believable parts about it is, he talked about how he showed up at one of the shows, and this was before he had gear and everything before he was like out on the road full time as a wrestler. So he just had like his workout gear. So he went out there, when before like the gates open and they cut everything on and the crowd comes in, like the wrestlers go down to the ring and then they'll work on stuff. And so he did that. He went down there, worked on stuff. Carano was like, yeah, just put your gear on, run down there. And he went down there and it seemed fine. Like he still was very green from his own admission. He talked about how he worked with Shelton a bit and how much he always appreciated that. But then he got backstage and apparently John Cena took his bags and kicked him out of the locker room. And he's like, you got to go change with the extras. And so that's where this started. That's where this started with him having backstage beef with Cena. And then it kept going. But one of the things he talked about was when he came to that show, they wanted to bring his then fiance, Jennifer Hudson, to the show. And they kept like trying to get him to invite her to things, kept trying to get her to get interested in the business and bring her to shows. And I was like, oh, I totally believe that, because that's right up there. That's right up the alley. That's what they do with things all the time. And so he was like, that was a trend throughout my entire career of them trying to get me to bring Jennifer Hudson to things. And I was like, oh yeah, I totally believe that.
This makes so much sense, because this is like dream girl Oscar Jennifer Hudson. Like she's hot around these times, and they wanted to ride them coattails, and they were putting the homie on display. Like there was moments that I was like, this guy's super green, and he's like on Raw, he's against John Cena, and they put him in, and he kind of got fast tracked into something before he should have. And the connection with his ex-wife makes a lot of sense. And so I understand. And like even hearing a story like that of the backstage stuff, that's like, you've heard that story 1,000 times. The Miz tells that story of they kicked him out of the locker room all the time. He couldn't be back there. So like that, I'm telling you, that was a time, that was a space. We've seen some wrestlers. I saw a Punk interview or a clip recently where he's like, the backstage stuff has completely changed. It used to be this, but now everybody's about business. Like it's a different scene back there. But it's funny that he chose now with a week to go in his career to be like, but let me tell you what this fool was doing though.
And I mean, the funny part about it is he tells the stories and he's like, yeah, for a while he had heat with him. Even the reasoning why Cena got upset with him is very funny, because he admits he's green. And so he's like, Dustin showed him some things he could do as a heel. Like you can like drape a wrestler onto the rope. And then, you know how the wrestler pushes the rope in while the wrestler is on it and they yank it back. And so he does that to Cena. He drapes him over the rope and he goes to push it in. And then Cena just jumps off immediately and sells it. And he's like, well, why did he do that? I didn't even touch the rope yet. And so he sells it and it looks bad. And then he turns around and he was like, boy, was Cena pissed after this. And he was pissed at me like I did something wrong and I messed up the spot. But I was like, I didn't even do anything. You jumped early. And so that's what led to him dressing him down backstage. He gets backstage and he's yelling at him like, this is a fantasy. You're never going to make it. All of these other things. And he's supposedly like disrespecting him. And he's like, but this wasn't even my fault. I didn't even do anything. And so, apparently Dustin was there. Dustin took his side. Some other people were like, that's really messed up. But his like you said, his story towards the end of it was like, yeah, he's saying all these things, but he knew better than put his hands on me, because if he put his hands on me, I would have beat the dog shit out of him.
I'm like, damn, how'd you get there?
Yeah. He told another story with Cena and he linked it to like the Husky Harris incident and what ended up being Husky being sit down to FCW and coming back to Bray Wyatt. And that's why, again, the way he had all of his dates and everything, I was like, oh, I believe him. I don't think he would just make all of this stuff up. It's just like, I don't know. A lot of people aren't going to want to hear that because, love for Cena right now is at an all-time high. And so you come out with this thing, and even at the end, he goes, yeah, well, we don't even have a problem anymore. There's mutual respect between us. And it's like, but then why'd you put this out?
That is such a that's such a like hip hop thing of like throw out a diss and then at the end like, nah, fucks with him no. And it's like, but you just I don't know, do you know? Like it don't sound like it.
Yeah, so that is on Otunga's YouTube channel. A lot of people are like, look what Maven has started. He started this kind of content now from ex wrestlers. And I'm like, no, this has been going on. Ex wrestlers have been doing this for a long time. Maven is just the newest guy to do it.
It's just a different format, is why. Like, people are like, it's just a single wrestler with the camera talking in essentially a podcast format. But like, shoot interviews are very old, guys. We've been wanting and listening to these stories since the beginning, and these have been a thing. Like, people have books. Like, we've been wanting to hear these stories, and we have for a long time. It's just a different format of presenting them, and it's so funny. Maven and Stevie Richards and David Otunga and all these guys. It's going to continue to be like this. It's going to wrestlers have space now, and people are listening, and they got a lot of stuff on their side. So intend to hear more from David Otunga in situations like this and other wrestlers of that stature.
Yeah, he had another thing on there about like the demise of the Nexus or something like that, and I was like, yeah, I think that's enough for me for today.
It's enough. I was at that SummerSlam in LA 2010. I will never forget, because that was the return of the greatest wrestler of all time, Bryan Danielson. Big pop for that. But when Cena just beat all those Nexus guys and it didn't feel like anything, and I was like, oh, these guys are going to be nothing. I was like, I seen it. You knew what was going to happen there. And that's when I hated John Cena then, because he would do things like this. And boy, was I booing. So he's really turned the corner. Shout out to him. It's going to be way different on Saturday. I'm going to be excited to see his last match.
Very ironic that was you said that was the Staples Center.
Mm-hmm.
Very ironic, because I keep making this comparison that he basically is having a very similar farewell tour to Kobe Bryant, where a lot of people that initially hated him are just like, yeah, but it's Cena. Like, we've been watching this guy for most of our lives, and like, there's a nostalgia thing. And so, a lot of people that were indifferent to him, they're now celebrating him on the way out. And if you didn't like him, I think you've grown to appreciate his presence in industry.
Absolutely. Perfect way to describe it. So much, I'd say so much of John Cena's career, I was like, this guy sucks. This guy stinks. Don't want to see this shit. Like, he was a black eye, I felt, on a lot of WWE shows, because it was the same old shit for years. Like, a lot of it wasn't his fault. It was just the way that he was booked. And then when he started into PWG Cena, and he's having matches with Kevin Owens and AJ Styles, I'm like, oh yeah, I like this guy. And so since then, it's kind of been up with the Cena stuff for me. That's probably when I turned the corner. But for a lot of them years, it was down with the homie.
Yeah, I've never been a big Cena guy, but yeah, I can appreciate that he's done a lot for the business. And you see it in a lot of ways that people talk about him, the people that he's inspired. And, whether you love or hate the guy, I think that he's handled a lot of his time in the spotlight with grace. You never see him in these interviews like going crazy. He's had some questionable moments where it's like, I don't know if you should have done that, but I think for the most part, he's handled his time in the spotlight pretty well.
He definitely is a Vince McMahon apologist, but of course we would understand that at the point that he is, and he is who he is because of a lot of stuff that Vince McMahon did. So when the Vince McMahon quotes come out, and he's like, he did everything for me, I'm like, yeah, I get it, but probably still not the time. I don't know if there'll ever be another John Cena at this way. There'll never be another WWE guy that I think is like on top for as long as he is, because it doesn't function that way. He might be like the last of like a dying breed, Phil. Like, they're now his class, they were still like, it's about the top guys, about the wrestlers and how we move it. Now it's all brand. It could be anybody. Like, anybody could kind of be slotted into that. I don't know if there'll ever be another like him.
Yeah. Yeah. Harder saying, nope, still don't like him. I know he's done a lot, but I never liked him during the Ruthless Aggression era. Don't like him now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he represented an era of wrestling for a lot of people that they didn't like. And I think it was that for me for a while, because I definitely stopped watching during some of the Cena heyday, because I did not like like that version of WWE. And I think it's kind of the same way that Nikki is synonymous with that era of women's wrestling. Cena is synonymous with a certain period of WWE that I was not a fan of. So I totally get it. Like I said, I'm not a big Cena guy, but I also like understand how much he's like done for that company, how important he is to that company.
Yeah, when WWE was like super cheese though, or super boring, like this guy was on top, and like he was a part of the like a lot of the super cringe moments, like he was saying them. So like I get it, like I understand there was some bad times. It felt like 1995 WWF some of the times with how he was moving. So I get it, and he's connected to a lot of that style of booking and things. So I understand.
Totally. Yeah, we're gonna get into Ring of Honor Final Battle and week 2 of the Continental Classic. But before we do that, have a word from our sponsor, Aura Frames.
You know what you should get that special someone for Christmas? Aura Frames. You know what you shouldn't? Beans. I don't even know how you would preserve those. How are you going to wrap them up? You got to put them, like, you'd have it opened yourself to make sure the beans are okay, then cover them in saran wrap and Reynolds wrap. I don't even know. This thing arrives with a gift box. You ain't getting that with beans. Don't even worry what these fellas are saying on this show. Aura Frames is your Christmas gift solution, not beans. Unlimited free photos and videos. Just download the Aura app, connect to Wi-Fi. You add, keep adding anytime, anywhere. You can even add a message before it arrives, and then continue to add them after you give the gift. Don't wait. Win the holidays now with Aura Frames. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com and get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames by using the code FIGHTFUL. That's named #1 by Wirecutter. That's auraframes.com, promo code FIGHTFUL. This deal is exclusive to our listeners, and frames sell out fast. So order yours now and get it in time. Terms and conditions do apply. Beans.
Auraframes.com. If you're looking for any Christmas gift ideas, be sure to use Fightful's promo code Fightful to get $35 off Carver mat.
You can also put beans in a box, Sean Ross Sapp. I don't know why beans caught a stray in this. Beans could make it. Beans could also be a gift next to your Aura Frames. Code Fightful. If you get because beans are cheap. Like you could get the ones that are, not in a can or in a can. Like they could be put inside of a box. I just want to say shout out to Beans. E. Siegel.
We're opening a box and it's beans is crazy.
Did you hear that? Speaking of my Benny Siegel joke, did you hear that Benny Siegel AI enhanced song?
I saw the video, and I think that's one of those. I am not a fan of AI at all, but I think when it's used in this way and it's the actual artist using it to supplement stuff that he's written, it's not somebody trying to steal his likeness. That's a bit different. So I think that's at least an inventive way of using it rather.
Down with AI. You guys know me. My life is hating on AI, but if it's used in the intended ways and to enhance the future like this, then like I'm in. Like I like this for Benny Siegel. Bro was like, is a hip hop legend and wants to continue going forward, but he's had some health issues and those things, and it affected his voice. So if he can use that in this way, then I'm in. But if somebody's like, let me get a Benny Siegel voice, and they go into Chat GPT and type in Benny Siegel verse, then like that's not what I'm with. So shout out to him.
Well. Yeah, glad that he's in better health. He had some real health scares at one point. I know Freeway also did, so glad that he's doing better because a lot of people are checking out of here. It's scary.
That time, that age for black men is difficult. So shout out to Bean, shout out to Freeway, like you said, shout out to Cassidy for fighting Easy the Block Captain at the Battle Rap show. Like I don't know, man. These days, man. Why are you fighting, Cassidy? You're like a 45-year-old man, dude. You can't be fighting out here.
Yeah, it's okay. Let's chill out, man.
Let's chill. Could you imagine Phil at 40 years old fighting a man?
Honor Final Battle took place on Friday night. I'm here, I think.
Okay, yeah. We're back. Ring of Honor.
Nah, you were saying, can you imagine at like a certain age, and then it just was like, I don't know, it's like went and fast forward.
Could you imagine fighting at 40 years old? A man.
It depends on what it is. Just on some, I'm out and I felt disrespected. Nah, I'm good.
Nah. These are purposeful fights at this point, like with meaning behind something, but not just like we had a battle rap and like I didn't like you a lot, so we're beefing.
Yeah, nah, you got to chill out.
Like, rap is personal.
But I feel like Cassidy's had a few months now, or really a few years, where I'm just like, what's going on, bro? What's going on in that camp over there? What's happening?
I was like, where are the homies at? And Cassidy might be at the front of where the homies at, because like when he was doing the beats and people were clowning, I'm like, so Cassidy's homies are not giving it up. They're like bullshitting him. They need to let him know what's going on, and it still feels like that.
Yeah, it's okay to be like, nah, you kind of bugging on this one. It's cool.
And if he doesn't have those friends around him that do that, he needs to get some.
Yeah, get some better friends, Cassidy. What's going on?
Shit.
But yeah, Ring of Honor Final Battle took place on Friday, Columbus, Ohio. I thought overall it was a good show. There was bits in the middle that I thought dragged. I'm not sure if you probably could have cut maybe 2 matches off this card.
I would have.
But overall, I thought it was a good show.
Yeah, I think that Ring of Honor, we have this fucking talk every time they have a big show. The show, I mean, it kind of the AEW deal of like sometimes the stories going into the show aren't strong. Sometimes they put the whole show together the night before the show or the day of the show, and it's like, I think it always frustrates me because they put on the crazy show and it's dope and everybody's like, that was amazing. But there would have been more people watching it if you would have gave them a reason to get to it. Like putting together the show at the last minute is like, what's going on here? But regardless of that, a lot of really good wrestling on this. Some of the best wrestlers in the world were on display this night. And most of it, I'd say like 90% of it felt like true ROH. Like it felt like the good days and points, like seeing like a guy like Ace Austin and a guy like Lee Johnson and Ricochet's here, and like it felt like a heyday. We're having a super card of honor type show.
Yeah, I agree. I think that we're still in this place where we're having conversations about the build every time, and most of the time the Ring of Honor pay-per-views deliver, but it's still afterwards. It's like, okay, but when are we going to address like what this brand is? It still needs to find its identity. It still needs to like fix like the interest in the weekly shows that's not there yet. But I think this is the first time I've watched the Ring of Honor pay-per-view in a while where I felt like, yeah, it's very apparent this was thrown on at the last minute and it didn't exactly work. There were 2 matches in particular where I was like, I don't know that needed to be here.
There were some long matches, some long things in it, but I think the main events and the stuff that people have been a little bit primed for excelled.
Yeah, I thought it opened very well, and then I thought it ended well as well. The pre-show matches were pre-show matches. We got Outrunners versus Premier Athletes. Layla Gray took on Zeta Steel. Zeta Steel's been someone that has been reported to be signing with AEW all the way to the point that Tony Khan answered a question about her on the media call. So good to see her here. I think she has a ton of potential. I think she would work really well on Ring of Honor, or even if they just wanted to bring her to AEW proper.
And And Layla Gray, what can we say about Layla Gray? Tremendously talented. I love that she's getting better and improving with every showing and every match, and she's really good.
Yeah, she's gonna play into a backstage segment later in the night that was pretty funny. So yeah, I'm glad that came back around. Her getting the win over Zeta Steel on a pre-show.
Thank God.
We also had Ace Austin. Yeah, we also have Ace Austin versus Lee Johnston. Lee Johnston looks fantastic. He's in incredible shape. I think that he has improved so much since the first time we saw him as a Nightmare Factory prospect. Ace Austin is Ace Austin. Ace Austin had a very good match on Collision as well. If you had not seen it, he wrestled Ricochet for the national championship. Very fun match. This match was good as well. And then to close out the pre-show, we had Death Riders, the team of Wheeler Yuta, Daniel Garcia taking on grizzled young veterans. Every time I see this team, I'm just like, bro, what's going on? Why don't we see more of them? The way they debuted at All In and then they just kind of disappeared. I don't get it. And they're a really good tag team. I thought that they worked well here. I really liked the combination of Wheeler Yuta and Dan Garcia. I thought was playing off their history and their rivalry for the Pure Championship. It made sense that they would know each other's moves and they would be used to each other in there. And I thought they worked well together.
Yeah, super fun pairing of Yuta and Garcia. They have a lot of history, so it makes sense that they would mesh well as a tag team. Their energy in there was super fun, something that I think in the AEW tag division moving forward would be super fun. Same thing with the Grizzly Young Vets. Like you said, Phil, every time I see them, I'm like, well, why don't I see them every week? Like, why aren't we have them inserted into this AEW tag division? I think that their energy and the way that they work and the way that they're an actual true tag team could be a tremendous help to what AEW represents. I don't think they got a fair enough shake against FTR. I think they just kind of threw stuff together. Like, if you really put some stuff behind them, let them build a feud and a match and all this, I think they could be a big help for the division. So, like, get to it.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, they could be a big asset for you on Ring of Honor. There were a few tag teams on this show that I was just like, okay, why are they over here and not doing this? Very strange booking decision, but really the highlight towards the end of the pre-show and the start of the show was Jon Moxley on commentary. God, he was hilarious. He was great on the last two matches, but he was even better in the first two matches of the show, particularly the Iron Man match. He was hilarious during the Iron Man match.
Yeah, no, Jon Moxley on commentary has been a great addition. He has such a funny insight, and the way that he thinks about wrestling is completely different than even the other commentators. So his little quips and things that he throws in are hilarious. And he really can enhance a story just by how he breaks it down. Like, when he's not full-time wrestling anymore, like, I definitely see the vision if he's trying to talk, because he understands wrestling on a different place.
Yeah. When we talked about it on the post show, I thought it was very funny that he has a lot of similarities on commentary to another guy that he was good friends with at one point before he tried to kill him with a plastic bag. And I kept listening to this guy on commentary, and it's like, hey, you know, he probably would get along with if he didn't try to kill him. Probably that Bryan Danielson guy, because these guys really love wrestling. You can see how enthusiastic Mox gets during the match. It's very similar to the way that Bryan does commentary. Yeah, go figure. Eventually, those guys will make up and be friends again.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think, like you said, they react, like Mox reacts to the same things that Bryan would react to, like the little freak wrestling sicko bits. He's like, yeah, do it, get into it. I like this, grind it out. Like, I think that enthusiasm is why his face turn is happening right now too.
Yes, Mox really had a great week as well. I thought that he had two good Continental Classic matches as well, and he was fantastic here on commentary. He cut like a mini promo after he left commentary to set up his match with Takeshita that was also good. But yeah, we opened the show with Deonna Purrazzo versus Billy Starks for the Pure Wrestling Rules Tournament Finals for the Ring of Honor Women's Pure Championship. I think most of us expected Deonna to win this belt. Felt like it was really made for Deonna. But I thought the match was really good. I thought Billy came across really well. She came across very tenacious. I love that they gave her the highlight of being the first person to force Deonna to do a rope break. But once you get on the mat, it's Deonna's world, man.
Yeah, this was Deonna's match. This is Deonna's tournament. This is Deonna's title to win from the beginning. The energy in this was really fun. That Billy Starks getting Deonna to have her first rope break ever in a pure title or pure match was a good story element. I like Billy still having her kind of balls to the wall style of wrestling, but trying to stay in the pure element and all that. But that was kind of her downfall of like, you can't get in the ring between these ropes and try to grapple and try to counter wrestle with Deonna because she's just gonna grapple out everything you. And that's what went into display here when she started working on that arm and coming from different directions and flipping over and Fujiwaras and all that. Like, it was really dope. I think this moment has been looming for a long time. Deonna's needed to have a big win and something to latch on to for a while. And I think her being the first ROH Women's Pure Champion is going to work well for her.
Yeah, she's got history with Ring of Honor as one of the initial women for this company. So it made a lot of sense for her to be here. I still think that they should be doing more with her, but at least she's getting something to do. I think the Queen Aminata match coming up seems promising. Story here is that Queen Aminata was not cleared to wrestle in the tournament, and so she had to forfeit her spot. But after the match, when Deonna won, Queen Aminata came back out to congratulate her and made to stake her claim that she is next up for a rematch. So I'm sure that match is going to be awesome. Looking forward to that. Deonna is just so good, man. Watching this match, I'm like, bro, she's just so good. One of the best technical wrestlers in the company. Her transitions, just the way she moves and gets into her submissions, second to none, man.
Yeah, I'm happy about this moment, and I think that her being the first champion makes a lot of sense. But then also watching this match, it's like, but she could also represent on Dynamite and Collision because I think she fills a good space. I think her as a heel is very interesting. And beyond that, I think having her on TV working with women like Sky and working with women like Julia and working with women like Penelope and working with women like Anna Jay, I think that would just help for the division as a whole. So like, you guys got something here and she shouldn't be wasting away anywhere. Put her on TV.
Yeah, at least she's doing something now. So I think this is a good spot for her. This match was very good, and looking forward to more. I think it's going to get a bit convoluted with the belts down there, but at least with the Pure Championship, that is something that Deonna can make her own. Because, like I said, this feels like something that just was basically made for her. So, can't go too wrong. We got another pure match after this. Well, sort of pure match. We got Lee Moriarty versus Nigel McGuinness in a 30-man Iron Man match. This match was really, really good, guys. I, of course, am not shocked because Lee Moriarty has quietly been having the most consistent year of anybody in this company. He's had a great reign as a pure champion. And Nigel hasn't missed a beat since he's come back to wrestling. I thought that he was great in this match as well. I really like the pace of it. I really like the final stretch of it. Overall, really good Iron Man match.
Yeah, Lee, I don't want to say he's the most underrated guy on the roster, but it's pretty close. Whatever kind of area that is that you're looking in, like I think Lee Moriarty has had a tremendous year as ROH Pure Champion. He's had some of the best matches of the year, just like from a pure standpoint. Like I think he's at the place that he's been trying to get for a bunch of years, and like that Tiger style moniker fits him so much more now. Nigel McGuinness I'm almost like, why aren't you a full-time wrestler? Like, I don't like the way that this guy like feels like he never left the wrestling ring, and he gets like, you see new wrestlers and how they navigate matches and how they put together the matches, and then you see a guy like Nigel and you're like, oh, that's what happens when you're like a veteran and you know all the moments and you know what this little thing needs to have in a match, and you know that when to go outside and you know when to hit the turnbuckle. Like, when there's a veteran that gets every single thing, just feels completely different. These guys have really good chemistry together, as you can see in this 30-minute match. Their counter wrestling was awesome. Their strikes and using the ropes and kind of trying to have those pure elements while still sticking to the Iron Man kind of format, I think was super dope. The finishing stretch was great of Nigel. Is such a smart wrestler, so he's going to figure out little ways to counter and little ways to get a pin here or there, or he's going to knock you the fuck out with his lariat. Like, he just, the spirit of what this entire company is, what Ring of Honor is, what AEW is, like, Nigel was on the ground floor doing that, and there's people that watch their Nigel tapes and imitate him, but seeing Nigel do it at a high level still was awesome. This is a really good match.
Yeah, I think that this is where Mox really shined during this match, and how he put over how important Nigel is to this generation of wrestlers, and how everybody thought he was like the cool kid in high school, and like how much tape trading played a part in it. And then he had like two of his best calls on commentary of the night during this match. Because Lee Moriarty gets up to a strong lead. I mean, early in the match, he uses the Border City stretch, gets his first point. Then he gets him in a roll up and gets 2 on the board. And then even when Nigel scored, he scored right back. So it was 3-1 early on. And so Mox is at one point, he's like saying on commentary, yeah, you know, he's gonna have to knock him down. He's gonna have to knock him out, man. Like, that's the only way he's gonna have to win. And then he's like, he's gonna have to knock him out. You gonna hear me? You gotta knock him out.
Mox is so good for moments like that.
Yeah, he was fantastic. And then, of course, in the final stretch, because like in the last 5 minutes of the match, Nigel caught up. The match ended up in a draw, 4-4. And I thought even the way that Shane Taylor played into the final stretch of the match was also great, because they've been teasing a little dissension between him and Lee for the past few months. I think they're starting to tease the Lee Moriarty face turn, which Lee should be a baby face. He's just such a cool wrestler. He's such a likable guy. People want to root for him. But I thought what they did in the last stretch of this match really did a lot to build towards that. Having Shane be the guy that if he wasn't out there distracting Lee, he wouldn't have gotten pinned and almost lost the match. And then, of course, he cheated when he punched Nigel in the face, and then Lee jumped on him and pinned him, and that's how we ended up getting the tie. But, of course, Lee couldn't let it end there, because he's like, nope, you challenged me to this match. I wanted to match, and I'm not done yet here. I'm not done until we finish this. We get to sudden death. Sudden death was excellent. The trading of the pins they did. Lee ends up picking up the win with European clutch. Very smart, beating Nigel of all people with the European clutch. I thought that was awesome. But this was like I said, the second best Mox call of the night, when Lee bridges up with his neck for leverage, and that's how he wins with the European clutch. And Mox is like, see, all these other people walking around here with these limp necks. That's a champion neck right there. That's a champion level neck.
Champion level neck was the call of the night. That's a champion level neck. I was like, oh no, Mox cooking right now. He was right too. That the finishing stretch, I like that. I like the story of Lee getting on the mic and being like, nah, you wanted this. Like, let's end this for reals. Like, let's not have it in on a tie. Come in here. The finish of him getting the shoulder up at the last second to beat Nigel. Like, outsmarting Nigel, I think, helps out Lee. And I'm 100% with you, too. I think Lee's such a cool wrestler that he needs to be babyface. Like, his presentation, the way that he looks, the way that he moves, the way that he acts, the music attached to it. outside of the ring. Like, he's such a cool wrestler that he needs to be showcased in that way.
Absolutely. And he's one of those guys that I can tell you could do such with him. He could be an ambassador for Ring of Honor. He could do like so much other stuff other than just be a wrestler. And you can see that with like him doing the art and stuff. And yeah, I hope that they realize what they have in Lee, man. This guy could be incredibly marketable, man. And like I said, he's such a likable guy, man. It's hard to not root for him to succeed.
And he's fucking good, as we've seen 30 minutes with Nigel, and he was going toe-to-toe with him the whole time, and we've seen him all year cook with that championship. Like, do something.
Yeah. But yeah, excellent match. Probably one of the best matches on this card by far. And then we got Red Velvet versus Mercedes. Oof. I thought their Dynamite match was good. This match was even better.
This was my match of the night right here. They're coming into the Dynamite match. I was so excited because when Mercedes announced that she was coming to AEW, one of the wrestlers I was like, she's going to have a great match with eventually somewhere is Red Velvet, just because their styles, their stature, a lot of what they do is pretty similar. Like, they bumped kind of the same. They're kind of out there with their style and everything. So I knew this was going to be great. So when the Dynamite match happened, I was like, oh, that was really good. Like, Red was kind of dusting off some of the ring rust that she had. She had been out for a while, and you know, it was kind of the get heat on Red Velvet type match with the Mercedes stuff. This match, though, man, this was just toe to toe, back and forth. You got something dope. I also got something dope. Red coming in like, I don't care about your belts. I don't care about what you're doing with other women. I don't care about you traveling around the world. I want my Ring of Honor championship that I earned. And she had that energy the whole time of like, I'm about to beat her. It's not fun. Like, I see what happened in the first match. I'm not going to let her get one over on me. And there were so many moments of this match where her intensity was amazing. Mercedes is the best there is, best in the world. Like, the way that she can be on either offense or defense, and it's great in both ways, and like enhancing things that Red does, but while at the same time doing it at such a high level and working her spots in and still looking good while doing it. Like, this was awesome. There were so many back and forth counter moments. Red hitting that spinning, that thing she does on this rope where she does like I don't even know what it's called. She spins around and flips and upside down, whatever this shit's called. It's hard. Her getting kind of surprising. I like this type of thing of like, you're not going to hit your finishing move on Mercedes and beat her in the middle of the ring because she's such a smart wrestler. She works around those things. You're going to have to get a roll up. You're going to have to get a pin. You're going to have to outsmart Mercedes just because of what she's built in the last year and a half or so.
Yeah. I think that Red Velvet has improved so much, man. Like, I think her time on Ring of Honor has been so beneficial to her. Mm-hmm. And I love the two overarching trends that they're going with currently with Mercedes downfall so far. Red Velvet, this belt means everything to her. This was her first championship with the company, and everything that she did to win this belt, and she was the longest reigning champion, and she had this reign, and she technically didn't lose up to that point. Mercedes beat the interim champion, and then they had their match on Dynamite. But up to that point, no, she was a dominant champion, and I think people forgot about that. And she's looking at it like, no, I'm not about to have this dominant run as champion, and then now my belt gets added to this collection of other belts with Mercedes. No, this belt means more to me than that. And then also, I love we're starting this trend of all of these people that Mercedes just kind of looked past, like, oh, I beat them already. I'm not worried about them. And it just shows that her time in AEW and her time post WWE, the competition is raising to her level. It's like, yeah, she's good, but all of these people, she's inspiring them to get better to step up to beat her. And I love that story. And I love that it feels like all of her old opponents are coming back for like, well, wait a minute. You beat me that time. You may have even beat me twice, but I know I can beat you. Like there was a lot of stuff that Red Velvet was saying in the promo leading up to this match that sounded a lot like Statlander. Like I know I can beat her. Like she beat me in that match, but I know I can beat her if I got a rematch. And she was right. I thought that this was the right outcome. I love that Ray got the win. I love how she got the win. You could definitely see, like you said, that they wrestle very similar. They're both very versatile in the way that they wrestle. They both definitely sell the same because the way that Red Velvet sold that Meteora on the rope, I was like, okay, like the way she like crumbled in, her neck like whipped back. I was like, okay, that was definitely like a Mercedes SL.
Yep. Red definitely has watched her Mercedes tapes, and they are very similar in a lot of ways. Yes, that element that you brought up of it makes Stat and it made Red Velvet look like smart wrestlers of you beat me before, so I'm about to study all your tapes. I'm about to study every finish that you've had in the last year. I'm about to study every way you ever beat somebody so I can have the counter to it. And that's what a lot of it came down to at the end is Mercedes is like, I beat somebody with this. Let me try this. I beat people with this. Let me try this. I beat people with this. Let me try this. And at every moment, Red's like, got a counter. I already knew everything that you were going to do, and I beat you. I think it makes her look like a smart wrestler, and I think it enhances what she's going to do moving forward. Red Velvet was fucking cooking. She was on fire. Like Mercedes is always on fire. That's what she does. But Red Velvet was in there with a purpose.
Yes. And I think it also puts over that Mercedes wrestles a lot of matches. And so she does have a lot of plate spinning, and she doesn't have her focus on one thing. And for Statlander, my focus was solely on beating you. For Velvet, no, this belt was my focus for over a year. And now my whole focus is beating you and getting it back. Like I'm not trying to do all the rest of this stuff that you're doing. I'm not trying to be everywhere like you are. This is it. This means everything to me. And that came across in this match. Like you said, coming out of the Dynamite match and being ready for the lung blower this time, coming off the rope and countering it, being ready at the end for the backstabber and countering it later in the night, going for the jackknife pin to win. All of that stuff made perfect sense because I've wrestled you before. I've seen everything you throw out.
Yep. Just super smart match. I love the intensity in it. I love how both women were bumping all throughout it. Just like it felt like there's a championship on the line and we both want to win so fucking bad. It's a simple ass wrestling concept, but when it's about that, when it's about the two wrestlers in there going blow for blow, like you can't get much better than that. And so this was everything I wanted it to be. And yeah, Mercedes lost, Red Velvet got the win. We've seen Mercedes. The downfall is starting. I think they just announced the match with European Rio and out there. So I think she's not going to be having all those belts here very soon.
Yes, I love that losing 2 in a row because she hasn't lost 2 in a row post WWE yet. And so losing this match and the way she acted when she lost and the way like the look on her face, like what is this? And just how you could see it already, how she was getting mad every time people brought up the Statlander beat her, and how she was talking that and like then losing this. I'm already getting what I wanted because I think, yes, all the stuff she's been doing as a belt collector, as Ultimo Monet has been fun, but the best heel Mercedes is when she starts getting, aggressively meaner, doing like more savage stuff to win. She starts talking trash. That is the best stuff. And she was doing some of this stuff in this match when she was going in on her. This is my house. This is my belt. Ring of Honor is my house. Get back to the kitchen and make my dinner, man.
Yeah, that Mercedes. I'm better than you, Mercedes. Don't look at me, Mercedes. The extra heel shit. Also, paranoid Mercedes is something else. When she thinks that maybe this house could be crumbling down, like I don't know. I'm not used to losing. That Mercedes, I think we're about to see some very special stuff. And I'm interested to see how they kind of get the rest of those championships out. So this has been great. Red Velvet getting a big win on the big pay-per-view in a great match. I think it was awesome. All of this is awesome.
Yeah, and I think they've already started to build little stories with other wrestlers that she's already wrestled in some of these other companies. And so I think it's going to continue to come back around where it's like, yeah, because you're not focused on any of these people. But you coming to their company and beating them, I didn't forget about that. Like, it was a great moment for my career, but I still want to beat you.
Right.
But yeah, I really like the way this was handled. Later in the night, we got the Layla Gray segment, and Mercedes is backstage clutching her belt close to her, and Layla's like, hey, maybe since I won tonight, I could get a TBS title match. And she's like, no, you're not getting the title match. Runs off. The match ends up getting scheduled. That match on Collision was very funny. The way that Mercedes kept trolling Christopher Daniels outside was hilarious. And then when she wins, she gets on the cans and it's like, yeah, you hear that, guys? I'm still TBS champion. Still TBS champion. The greatest TBS champion ever.
Yeah, I like that backstage promo. Layla approaching, and it seems like a couple months ago, if somebody would have approached Mercedes backstage, she'd be like, yeah, I'm in. Let's do it. You want to fight tonight? I'm on a streak. I'm on a roll. Let's do it. But her to be like, nope, don't even say it. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. And ran off, I think was really great. Her mocking Chris Daniels with the Curry Band shit killed me. I've watched that little clip about 5,000 times of it going back and forth. Super fun. So yeah, I think this downfall Mercedes, I'm not going to listen to the noise and all that. Is about to be some fun stuff moving forward.
Yeah, go figure. There was a story here all along, which
stories
we already knew that, but people that were like, oh, what's the point of her winning all of these belts? Because we're telling stories. It's fine. It's just not the story that you wanted
or the way you want it.
Yeah. We got the tag match for the vacant Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship. Sammy Guevara and Beast Muertos took on Dynamite Kid, Tommy Billington, and Adam Priest. I didn't understand why this match was on this card. I didn't understand why they went with these two teams. I was very confused. Like, I don't know what they're doing with Ring of Honor's tag division at the moment. This was a head scratcher for me. I mean the match itself was fine, but I was just so confused as to why they did this, and especially with how they took the belts off of Roosh and Sammy, and then still just put LFI in the match anyway, and then they ended up winning the match anyway and getting the belts anyway. It was just like, why? Yeah, this was a strange choice.
Like, they should have just said Freebirds rule for this. Roosh is out, so we're going to transfer it over to Beast Muertos. It's fine. It would all worked out. But yeah, they did. I don't know if they're trying to build up Sammy Guevara. It feels like they're like, Sammy, you guys, remember, we like him. He's cool. Get behind him. But like, there's still, and I don't know if they're always going to be some kind of disconnect there. Like, there's just fans. I don't know what he's a heel. He's in the moment that he should be, but I feel like the way that he's showcased, there's something left to be desired. And this match was fun. Like, I like the team of Adam Priest and Tommy Billington. I think that them paired with Grizzly Young Vets and Lee and Blake Christian and a number of these different tag teams could be great for the Ring of Honor division. And I hope that we get to that moving forward. But yeah, this felt like, I'm on your side. This felt like one of those, it didn't enhance the card like Ring of Honor title matches usually do.
Yeah. Sammy is now a 3-time champion, 3-time tag champion, and he technically did not lose the title in between any of these reigns. This was odd, and I think they could have done something else here. And I'm not even sure that this match needed to be here. It felt like It felt like a television match, to be honest with you.
It did.
And it just the booking for this was just really strange. I could not figure out why they went with this decision. But yeah, LFI are the new / old champions.
They're the champions of something, okay? The new / old.
Which was also kind of bizarre as well. Like it felt like we need a tune-up match for Eddie Kingston in between his big match coming up and Winter is Coming, but they just put it on this Ring of Honor show, and I was just like, why didn't you just give him a match on Collision? I didn't really understand that. I know that we're really positioning this feud around Samoa Joe, and it's really more of Eddie Kingston versus former ROH legends, but I don't think that it really fit on this card.
It didn't. This might have been the most out of place one for me, and I'm interested in the Eddie Kingston and Samoa Joe story. It was just like, it felt like it would have been fit better on Collision for the story they're trying to tell. Like we got this thing on Wednesday with Samoa Joe and Eddie Kingston, and they're building up and all this. And I liked what Eddie Kingston and Josh Woods did, but just like for pay-per-view and we're moving forward and we're doing that, it didn't feel like a big pay-per-view match. It felt like a TV match. And that's okay. I think you need those things in there, but like if we're just putting together the card the night before or the day before, you don't need to add something like this.
Yeah, it felt like filler, and because the show was already a bit long, it felt like, why was this here then? Like it felt like you could have easily put this on Collision. And I know we're trying to give Eddie the reps. He's shown quite a bit of rust since he came back. Eddie's looked better and better the more he's been out there, but yeah, I don't know why they put it on this card in particular.
Yeah, this is probably the best I've seen him look in a singles match, and I was like, it felt like the vibes of what Eddie Kingston is were on display here. I'm like, recently in the last couple of weeks, all you need to do is let this guy talk and then have one of these kind of all Japan style, we suplex each other, we strike, we beat you up, and then I win in the end, and I talk a lot of shit during it. It's not really that hard to book Eddie Kingston, but this one was a little bit of an interesting choice.
Yeah. I was happy to see Josh Woods on the card because I think Josh Woods is great. I wish that they were doing something else with him, but I was happy to see him here.
Yeah, that was the bright spot of it. I was like, I like Josh Woods a lot. I think that he could be a big fit in any of the divisions. Like, honestly, Josh Woods versus Bandito would fucking hit. So that was good seeing him there, but it was just kind of interesting.
Yeah. I thought the show picked back up again during a 6-man tag match. Shane Taylor Promotions got a great reaction. Fans really like these guys. They took on the team of Skyflight, Scorpio Sky, Dante Martin, and Darius Martin. This was a lot of fun. I thought that Shane Taylor Promotions works well together. They continue to work well together. When you see Dante and Darius, like even in small settings here, it's like, oh yeah, it felt like they had a direction for them at one point. It kind of felt like they were going to be the future of AEW's tag division. And then it kind of felt like, oh, well, we'll put them in the Ring of Honor tag division and let them develop. And they've done neither of those things. And so watching this match, it gets reminded me all over again how good these guys are.
There was a sequence in this that Darius hit, and it was like, oh shit, I forgot that Darius is a fucking hooper and he cooks, and if given the opportunity, he could be one of the best wrestlers in here. Shane Taylor Promotions was like this a cliche, a well-oiled machine, as they say. Like, there were so many moments of this where I was like, these boys are cooking. Like, they just got every moment. They got every little bit. Like, their tag team work together was awesome. The captain, Sean Dean, was silly. His Bronco Buster being called the BBC, still can't get over it. It still drives me insane. It's crazy. Him with the big tope con hilo landing on his him with the big tope con hilo landing on his feet outside. I'm like, no, the captain was on fire. Carly Bravo, just like the trash talk that he throws in little moments in the match, and he'll say something off the wall here, but then he'll hit a gigantic punch or some kind of big boot or some kind of crazy off the wall maneuver and show that he's a great grappler too. Like, there's so many moments of the match that I love them working together as a team, and Shane Taylor as kind of the anchor and throwing in his big strikes at different moments. Good shit there. I thought Skyfly too. There was so many. You remember, like you said, that Top Flight is one of the best tag teams in the world if given the opportunity to. And when they started cooking, doing their thing again, you're like, oh yeah, these guys are awesome. Dante Martin is still one of the best high flyers that there is, and he still does things that other people can't do, and he still moves like other people can't move. And Scorpio Sky being their anchor, I think is fun too, because he's still as good as he's ever been, and he's still a grounded veteran that could help with younger talent and enhance matches, and he knows how to do things when others don't do it. Thought this was great. All these guys meshed really well together, and this is what title matches should feel like spirited contests where either team could win, but the well-oiled machine of Shane Taylor Promotions, you can't beat that.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. Carly Bravo, man, it's just such a charismatic guy, man. And I mean, just the way he carries himself, the way he talks, just the little things he does, he's great. But then like you said, man, I think we quickly forgot because Darius took all that time off because he had that nasty injury at one point. But Dante in 2022 was on fire, man. The matches he was having on TV, it just sucks that he didn't get the payoff of that run. Because there was so many different things going on. They put him with Leo, and then they had him as this guy that all these people wanted to join their stable because he looked like the worst kept secret. This kid looked like the future of his company. And then, like I said, he got injured, and all of that kind of went away. And then even when he came back and Dante was ready to go, it felt like they were directionless for a little bit as a tag team. And
for too long.
I wouldn't for way too long. I wouldn't mind Ring of Honor as a destination for them, but I feel like Ring of Honor as a brand needs to figure it out. But them as the Ring of Honor tag team champions, even if you're just going with them in a feud with LFI going forward, that sounds like a lot of fun. But just give them something consistently to do instead of just floating around, just having matches here and there.
Put some belts on these guys, man. They could be trios champions. They could be tag team champions. They need something a little bit more to latch on to, because the AEW fans want to feel like the people that they've been watching for years are rewarded. They need a reward.
Yeah. I think it's very unfortunate that what looked like was brewing as a great rivalry with them and Private Party just didn't really pan out as well. We didn't really get the run of matches I thought we were going to get with them. And yeah, I think I know they've tried to repackage Top Flight a few times. This is again, them attempting to repackage them by putting Scorpio Sky with them, but they just need consistency. That's all. They just need a consistent direction.
They have all the divisions too, so they just need to be slotted into a good place and continuously given good things, because they still all represent what they always have, and they still could be big players for either ROH or AEW.
Yes. Ricochet defended his AEW National Championship against Dalton Castle next. Dalton Castle still continues to be one of the most entertaining characters in ROH. When he came out, he does his entrance, and he's standing there, and he's holding his hand out, and the boys are running around him, picking the bird seeds out of his hand. Still very funny. Ricochet coming out and super kicking one of the boys, and he just falls out, and the rest of them are standing around him, fanning him. Also hilarious.
Yeah, this was It's so interesting that Ricochet never had a proper run in ROH. Like seeing it here was like, how did that happen? Like the planets never really aligned for that to be a full thing. Because Ricochet is one of the most ROH wrestlers that they are. Like the company was kind of built off the backs of what he was doing in Japan and in other places here. So this was seeing him here felt right. And so him being this guy with the charisma that he's had and how he is with his promos recently and adding those extra elements to his character, I think was awesome. There's a lot of moments in this match where you're like, Ricochet is unbelievable still. Like he's not the flippiest guy like he used to be. He doesn't even do half the shit that he does. But when the little things that he does, the regular bumps that he takes, the regular moves that he does are just extra, better than anybody else can do them. So it's great to see him as the national champion. I'm interested to see what he does moving forward. And I thought he had a lot of chemistry with Dalton Castle. He has a lot of chemistry with a lot of people.
I think this is by far the best character work he's ever done. When he was losing and he came out and he's like getting ready to like use the chair and he's like acting like he's gonna get in the ring with the chair to distract the refs, and then just multiple things he does throughout this match. The way that he sells, the way that he was making all of Dalton's offense look. Man, he's just so good as a heel right now, man. He's got it figured out. Like he understands his character. He understands what he needs to do to come out and make others look good. He's just, man, you could already see there's so much potential with him and the national championship and going other places and having matches with people. And like I said, if you have not seen Ricochet versus Ace Austin from Collision, go out of your way to watch that. Very good match. Ace Austin is fantastic, and I thought Ricochet made him look great. But yeah, this match was a lot of fun. I thought this was a very Ring of Honor style match. I think the way we were talking about how some other matches, like the Pure match and the Iron Man match, felt like it belonged on this card. The same thing here. And it could be just because Dalton is just such a consummate Ring of Honor wrestler, and Ricochet wrestles that style that a lot of Ring of Honor wrestlers wrestled. So this was a perfect fit. I thought this was a perfect kind of palate cleanser before the co-main event.
Yeah, Dalton Castle is synonymous with Ring of Honor, and I understand the positioning of this, having it so late in the card, because what both of these guys are, and I think they gave that exact match as a little appetizer to what the main events were going to do. Super fun match. I'm about to watch Collision after this pod is over too, to see that match with him and Ace Austin.
Yes. Then we got the survival of the fittest match for the Ring of Honor World Championship. Bandito took on Sammy Guevara, Blake Christian. I feel like that's a black thing. I always want to put S or son on the end of something where it doesn't belong. But yes. Blake Christian, the Beast Mortos, Commander, and Hechicero. This is where I was even more confused as to why they put that tag match on this show and why they did it the way they did it. If Sammy and Beast Mortos were already in the survival of the fittest match anyway, I did not get that at all. And maybe it's also that they were trying to lead up to this match by going, "Hey, these two guys are heels, and their alliance is kind of shaky. They can't be trusted," because they played off immediately at the beginning of the match that LFI ended up getting eliminated quickly because Sammy tried to turn on everybody else. But I feel like you could have still did that without putting this random tag match on this card.
Yeah, I didn't like that they had a match earlier. Usually when they do this guy's going to have two matches or he has to defend his title in this, like a lot of the times I think it works. I don't think it worked in this case with what you're describing. Like the other match felt kind of inconsequential and it wasn't like they absolutely cooked. It was fine. It was a good match. Like again, Priest and Billington, put them on. They're a great tag team. Adam Priest, one of a fucking dog. I love him. But like, it felt like too much Sammy. You know what I mean? Like it was like, oh, he's still talking. He's here in the main event too. And he's not really, it didn't feel like, again, it was being enhanced. So I was like, kind of confusing. Beast Mortos is incredible. Put him on 25 times. But like, it just felt like, I don't know, maybe they could have slotted somebody else into their matches too. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but I thought that they filled their roles well in terms of the way that this match was paced. Sammy getting his comeuppance immediately. Beast Muertos worked well, of course, with the other luchadors here. Um, so I thought that they filled their roles, but it just was like, why, why did we do that with the tag titles if you could just like had a free bird rule? I just don't understand that. But I digress. Blake Christensen, Blake Christian, Blake Christian, really stole the show in this match, man. When he came out with the mask, that was hilarious in itself. But he was really moving like, hey, I've had this dominant win streak. I really am owed this match more than anybody else here. And I'm gonna wrestle like you gotta beat me to win.
Yeah. I think he had the most I want to beat Bandito energy. There were a couple of guys that just felt like they were there, happy to be there type of energy. Blake Christian was like, no, there's a story here. I've been cooking on Ring of Honor for a long time. And beyond that, I think I could beat Bandito, and his energy of like flipping all over the place. Blake Christian's one of the best wrestlers they have, man. He's like a hooper. He's an underrated hooper, I think. I think he gets a lot of really good heel heat, but then when he turns it up, people are like, oh yeah, he can go too. So it kind of enhances that. And there was a lot of moments in here where he would start cooking, going 1,000 miles per hour. And you're like, damn, Blake Christian, that fool is on fire. It just reminds me of like, for the longest time, this is a sidebar. For the longest time, I thought that it was Jake the Snake Robertson, because everybody black that I knew that watched wrestling would say Robertson instead of Roberts. And it's just that again right here.
When Blake got in his bag, he was killing it, man. With that combo he did with the springboard and then did the lethal injection afterwards, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like he had a few moments like that in this match where he was just going nuts. I thought he was gonna win at one point, especially when he hit the lethal injection. I was like, "Oh, is he gonna win?"
Yeah.
But yeah, he got close enough. I don't think this is the last we'll see of him versus Bandito. With the way that this match was put together, it definitely feels like he's gonna be a big heel challenger going forward. But like I said, I really like the way that this match was paced compared to a lot of the other matches. It was like back-to-back action, just like straightforward spots on top of spots, and all of these guys in this match, their caliber of wrestling. I thought that this was the perfect mix of guys to put in there with Bandito. Bandito still looks like one of the best wrestlers in the world. It looked like he looked like he was in trouble, other than when Blake got taken out. Blake loses, and then of course he throws a tantrum. Targets the shoulder that was injured earlier this year. And so Bandito is favoring that shoulder, rolling back in the ring with the absolute worst person in the world that you could be favoring any kind of limb against at Cicero. And I was like, oh no, you're in trouble. You got to assume Cicero was rubbing his hands together like, oh, I might got him.
And Cicero could not wait. He started flipping and spinning him all over the place. But yeah, Blake Christian, I think they keep talking about this Boxing Day event that Ring of Honor is doing, and they've already announced a couple matches. I'm like, if Blake Christian might be able to get that Ring of Honor title match against Bandito if they're trying to do some one-on-one stuff, because I think the work that he's been doing has been tremendous. And in this match, he was on fire. But yeah, Bandito's the reason for the season. This guy's potentially wrestler of the year on a lot of people's list, and because of displays like he did like this. When he does his spots, when he does a press slam, when he does the 21 plex, when he flies out of the ring, and you see that this guy is almost, it looks like he's superhuman. Like, how do you do these things? And the charisma and all this, it's like Bandito's on a different level. Him and Cicero have had a great, amazing match in Ring of Honor main event this year already, and they started cooking again in this. They just have a lot of great chemistry together. Love them kind of counteracting all the spots that they've previously done to each other and having new ways to get in and out of them. But Bandito, unbeatable. Like, he just, not his time to be losing the Ring of Honor World Championship. There was moments in here where I thought a couple guys could do it, but I'm like, nah, Bandito needs to continue to cook. And I think having a super fun, like you said, this match is high impact, balls to the wall, survival of the fittest, 6 guys, elimination match, like just there's never a moment where things stopped. I think it's really enhanced this pay-per-view, made Bandito look strong again to end the year. And this felt like a final battle type match.
Yes. I did come away with after he survived that field. I don't know who's going to beat Bandito at this point. I don't know who it's going to be, but yeah, he's been really, really tremendous this year. I know a lot of people are saying that they were upset that he wasn't in the Continental Classic, but I mean, this guy has been everywhere this year. Let him take a break, guys. Let him live.
And I think we still got some good stuff coming from him before it's all said and done. Like there's some stuff happening on the AEW side that I think he's going to be slotted into here soon that people are going to be good with. So it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's only a matter of time before he's on the main show.
Right.
He's just too good. And Tony clearly likes him. So
absolutely.
Yeah. But the main event, Athena versus Persephone for the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship. This was really, really good. Persephone is incredible. We already knew that, but she is incredible. I think this is the most Athena has looked in trouble in a long time. Like there were spots in this match where I was like, oh, she's going through it. Like Persephone is putting her through her paces, and not a lot of challengers have managed to do that. Athena came out looking really cool with her anime entrance. I thought this was the right crowd for this at GalaxyCon. She came out with the Demon Slayer cosplay. I thought that was cool, but Persephone was like, I don't need none of these gimmicks. I don't need none of this cosplay stuff. I'm coming in here to kick your ass, and that's definitely what she did.
Yeah, this was, like you said, I've seen previous matches with Athena. I think my favorite Athena matches are like the Mercedes match and the Willow matches. And I think like even in those matches, there wasn't a lot of moments where it felt like Athena was in trouble. Like she ended up defeating Willow after like there's some hard fought battles, but it wasn't like, damn, Athena's being dominated. There was a lot of like back and forth, and that's what a lot of the Mercedes match was, like back and forth. And then it's kind of like in the end, somebody gets the little roll up. This match, Athena was in trouble, dog. I'm talking about Persephone was like, I'm about to win this championship. Her confidence is through the roof. She kind of gives me sometimes a woman version of Roosh vibes, like where she's just fucking vicious, dude. I'm like, she's about to rip Athena's head off, or she'll use her power to fucking throw her somewhere. And I'm just like, she is fucking cool. That's like, I think that's what makes it extra. It's like she has these big, powerful moves. She has a good look. She looks cool while doing it. And there was moments where I'm like, she could actually beat Athena, and I think that would be kind of cool. But Athena is the forever Ring of Honor Women's Champion. Against adversity is when she comes out on top, and there was a lot of adversity here, but when she gets into, I'm actually the best wrestler in the world, I don't care about nobody here, I could beat anybody, it's really hard to beat Athena. And she started cooking at one point, throwing those strikes, being elusive, being in places where Persephone thought she was going to be, but Athena wasn't. And then in the end, hitting that O-face. Like, Athena's had so many tremendous matches in Ring of Honor in the last couple of years. She's beating everybody. It's just like Bandito. I still don't know who's going to beat her. I mean, I guess we still could be building to Billy Starks, but that feels so far away. Athena's still on display. After what she did with Mercedes in that match on, which feels like 500 years ago this year on Dynamite, I still want to see her on the roster.
Yeah. Persephone came in initially and she's working the mat game. She started targeting her back, and even besides that, then this is why I'm just like, she was just incredible, because it was like she had an answer for everything. She came with like the big power moves, and then she was coming off the top rope with the moonsault she does as well. I love that they spent most of the match trying to build up to the Razor's Edge, and so you thought once she finally hit the Razor's Edge, it's over. And so when she does finally hit it, it's such a great near fall because she had been avoiding it for the entire match. Athena threw out a really good counter on the Razor's Edge early in the match as well. Great. But when Athena gets in that bag of, oh, I can't just like out wrestle you and beat you, I have to get like very like violent and like hit you very hard. And she hit her with that avalanche German suplex that looked disgusting. And like the way she tried to stagger back up to her feet, I was like, oh no, it's over. Like it felt like I gotta hit you as hard as I can so that you cannot try to react before I hit you with the O face, because early in the match, she was ready for everything. She kept reacting for everything. She was like, "Oh, no, okay, I just got to hit you very hard so that it takes you longer to get up."
Yeah, because it feels like Athena approaches every match like this is a joke. It kind of her and Mercedes have that in common of like, you're lucky to even be in the ring with me. This is another day at the office. I'm gonna go in here and beat you. And the beginning of the matches was like, what are you doing here? I could beat you. Don't worry about this. But then when Persephone started turning it on and she was like, oh shit, no, this isn't just going to be a walk in the park. I actually have to fight from underneath and fight from behind and try to beat this person. Really turned into a match, and really great finish of showing that you have to hit Persephone with a damn truck in order to beat her. You're not going to just get a regular old victory over her just because of what she is. She's young, she's hungry, she's mean, she's powerful. Like, she's the future of this company. But Athena, as a smart veteran wrestler, had the answer.
Yeah, really loved this match. I thought it was a great main event. Like I said, I thought that the show opened very well. I thought the first 3 matches were really good, and then I thought the last 2 or 3 matches to end the show were also really good. Like I said, the bits of it in the middle that dragged weren't great, but it wasn't enough to really drag down the show. I still thought overall it ended up being a really good show. I still came away thinking the same thing. I think every time we talk about Ring of Honor, that I really wish that they would figure out like what is the identity of this brand, because there's so much potential here, man. There's so much history here. They've got so much talent on the roster of people, as well as just people that are just hanging out on AEW that could probably be on the show as well. Yeah, I just wish they would figure it out on a weekly basis. That's all.
Hearing Tony talk about Ring of Honor this week, I don't know, because it feels like Honor Club is successful. It feels like the strategies that they've been employing, whatever subs or however it's working on Honor Club is good. They're like, we're good. We're making money with this. It feels like those fans are attached to what the Ring of Honor product is. And so when people keep asking him about TV deals, he's like, I don't really think we need a TV deal because the Honor Club's cooking. We're at a good place in this. And it feels like he hasn't been offered the right deal for what he would like to do with the company. But like I said, Phil, after you see such a great main event, and it's like every time Bandito cooks or they have Athena have this amazing thing, there wants to be follow-up. None of these people are going to watch Ring of Honor. Nobody that tuned in specifically to watch this pay-per-view is going to watch Ring of Honor on Thursday. And that's what's been going on. Like, they have their dedicated subs, but I think with the consistent booking of what they end up with on the pay-per-view and having the tapings and the show be a little bit different, they could have more people watching. They could have people watch the weekly product, and they have all the pieces to make it be worthwhile. I just don't know. Like, anytime people start talking about a TV deal, before he even said the stuff about how many subs and much money they get, I was like, I don't think they're going to go on TV just because the Ring of Honor product doesn't really feel like a TV national product. Like, I think it works like a streaming show, and I don't know if they're ever going to want to change that.
Yeah, I can understand his position on we're happy where we're at with Honor Club because it makes its money for what it is. I don't think you need to rush to get a TV deal just for the sake of having a TV deal. So you can say, well, Ring of Honor is on TV. That makes it successful. If it's successful in its own bubble on a subscription service, then that's good. But my thing with that is, if you're not waiting to get a TV deal, then what is the holdup to just revamp the show and either commit to it being developmental or commit to it being its own brand? If it's just going to be that, then what's the holdup? What are we waiting on? If because we kept hearing from before, okay, well, we're waiting for a TV deal, or we're waiting for this, and it's like, if you're not, then what's going on?
Yeah,
I'm confused.
I think that's the biggest thing. It doesn't. You brought it up a couple times. It doesn't really have a real identity. Like from week to week, it kind of like I could watch Ring of Honor 1 week and then 3 weeks later, it's like a different show, and like it doesn't seem like a consistent thing. And I think that most part you're a sicko, and they put on great matches, so it kind of makes things string along. But I think if they want to grow the brand even bigger and make it into something else, they're going to have to make a few changes. And not everybody always immediately goes to, they need their own taping thing, they need their own studio and all this. And I don't even think that's it. I just think that they need to put a little bit more emphasis on the weekly show, and not just like, also ROH is going to be there. Because I feel like a lot of, even like when you buy a ticket to Dynamite or Collision, they don't emphasize it as much as they should. A lot of the times when they start to do the matches at the taping, people are confused. They don't even know what the hell's going on because they came to see AEW and now you're showing them ROH. They need to be like, there's also going to be a ROH. Stick around for ROH before you even get to the show. There's a couple of things that they could do moving forward to enhance it. But like I said, it seems like everything's going well, so I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I've gone to multiple shows and I've stayed for Ring of Honor shows if they're matchups that I'm interested in.
Right.
Because a lot of times it's just straightforward matches. But if it's not like something I'm like, oh, okay, well, I can wait and I can see that at home. Which I'm sure a lot of fans feel like if you're there from, I don't know, 7 to 10 and you're like, here's some more Ring of Honor matches and I got to go to work tomorrow. Yeah, I'm probably going to slide out.
Yeah, on a Wednesday night, Phil, after a Dynamite taping, people have been at work all day and you're trying to show it. I've already watched 2 hours of Dynamite and you're trying to show me some more wrestling. Most people are not going to be interested, especially if you're springing it on them. And that's the point I'm trying to get off. If you tell them before we get to the show, if we already know what this is, they might be in. But if it's like, hey, the show's over, don't leave yet, like that, don't leave yet is not a great strategy for Ring of Honor.
Exactly. You listen, I everything you came for is over. You came here for Dynamite. Dynamite's over. Hey, stay for another extra hour or two for Ring of Honor. Hey, I got work in the morning. I'll see y'all later.
I gotta go, bro. I barely made it to this.
Yeah, so I get it. But yeah, this was a good show overall.
I'm just happy the spirit of Ring of Honor still lives. Like when they want to be Ring of Honor, they can be Ring of Honor. And I guess that's what I would like for the weekly show to feel like.
Yes. Speaking of TV deals, TNA announced this week.
That's right.
That they have a TV deal. They're going to be on AMC next January. I think if that was the main hope going into this WWE partnership, then it's a success in that merit. I still have my questions about the booking and certain things and like some of the decisions they've made this year with TNA. But this is absolutely a win for TNA getting on AMC. I think they've got some questions to address with who is really going to be the face of this thing going forward. Before the last few weeks, I thought it was going to be Mike Santana. It might now. I mean, so they've got a rematch coming up for Mike Santana against Frankie Kazarian, but the way that they handled his win and just how we got here is just still so baffling to me.
I don't like the sacrifice one moment to get to another moment kind of booking of what it feels like. Because if they're leading to, the end of the first AMC show is Mike Santana holding up the belt, it's like, but why did you sacrifice the other moments to get here? You could have had him with the big title match and big title match defense be the first match of the show or first main event of your AMC show. So it was just a little bit confusing. But yeah, the TV wrestling thing is still gonna always be confusing to me, Phil, because like, are people gonna tune into AMC? There's a lot of talk about TNA trying to get casual fans and what being on cable does, and can you retain fans if you put together a good product? Like, there's so many questions that I think are attached to AMC. There's still cord cutters. There's this AMC. Are people going to invest in AMC streaming service? Like, there's a lot of questions attached to this.
Yeah, I think though they're all valid. I think with just how much wrestling is readily available to people now,
that part,
it's hard because so many people are vying for your attention, and it's a very crowded market now. I think TNA just has to continue to try and find what makes it, unique in comparison to WWE or AEW, and that's why. Like I said, the partnership, there's been some choices that I'm like, I don't know if you're trying to separate off on your own and get a TV deal and get people to tune in. There's been some choices that I don't know necessarily works. The question for TNA is always going to be, for me, who are your main eventers? That's always like at least been their biggest Achilles heel for the past few years, because like the Knockouts division, you can develop some women. Like even if your argument right now is okay, they lost Jordan, they lost like some of their biggest names. They don't have Masha. You can develop the next crop of women in the Knockouts division a lot easier than it is to develop a main eventer to be like the face of the company. You got Leon Slater, you got some people in that X division that can cook. You can build around you can build some tag teams up. But it's harder to just like get a main eventer. A main event level star is not going to just fall in your lap. And so it's going to be tough in that way. And also, TNA is still unfairly looked at as a stepping stone for a lot of people. People think, okay, I sign there and, get my prestige up and then go somewhere else. And so, yeah, I think that's going to be the biggest issue going into this TV deal is, who are going to be your crop of main eventers for the next year or so.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that TNA is going to continuously, and we have seen for the last couple of years, run into is, do they even want to invest in a big main event guy? Because soon as they invest, hit Joe Hendry, they're gone. Like you can't even really put anything behind them because they're getting snatched up. So it's like, it's so hard to get an established main event because people do, like you said, view it as a stepping stone. But you got to establish it. I think of a wrestler like Jake something that kind of was floundering over in your company that could have been a top guy. That's not, you know what I mean? Like there's some guys that were there that you had that could be slotted into this. And I think that's what still needs to happen. You bring up a really great point, Phil. Like I didn't think about that. Like their main event scene is always, anytime I've been like, I'm down on this company, it's always been attached to the main event scene. I mean, the inception of it was Jeff Jarrett kind of ruling over it, and every show would end with my world. So it's like getting out of that mind state and into, then there was like Moose stuff, and it went to Hogan was there for a while, and then like it's like you guys got to get a real identity for your main event. You got to establish some real stars beyond one or two. You got to establish 4 or 5. We got to feel like there's contenders all the time fighting for this, and I feel like you too, because like the X division and women's division and knockouts division can change in 30 seconds. We can bring in we could bring in 3 talents for each division, and they're the best. They're better. That's just how those divisions work. Main event, getting people to believe this guy's going to be your world champion is so hard. And so they're going to have to figure that out. They're going to have to figure that out as this new venture into AMC and what the identity is going to be of the brand moving forward and how WWE is going to play a part moving forward. Phil, like, did the Muhammad Carlos Silva just, finesse and talk and high five to get this deal and he's on his way out? Or are they going to continue to use the WWE partnership as their identity on AMC? Was AMC part of the deal being, are we going to get WWE stuff because they have a history, they have stuff, they've done work together. So there's a lot of questions to be asked. There's a lot of questions to be answered. This is interesting, but at the end of it, good for TNA. I saw some people talking crazy. It's like, dude, if a wrestling company could get money from a television station to broadcast that show, that's great for the wrestling business. More wrestlers on TV, more potential to reach more eyes. They've been stuck and locked away on AXS for so long, and for 5, 10, 7 years, it's been like, I would watch TNA if I could find it, and some people don't want to commit to the YouTube stuff. So being on a channel that you can watch on your fucking cable subscription, I think it's going to be good for them. Let's hope that they can stick the landing, or stick a couple of these landings, so it's more interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, that the question of who like the crop of main eventers is going to be, that's going to be what dogs them going into 2026. I mean, like the history of them with like main eventers is like going on for so long. That's why they ended up putting the world championship on Tessa, because it was like, oh, we got it with the knockouts division, and Tessa's already so popular, we might as well just like move her to the main event, because she's already at that time she was already more popular than a lot of our male wrestlers. So why not? And now, like I said, you can sign women. You could sign someone like Nikki Blackheart tomorrow and start building her up as like a knockout. You've got so many options in that way. You've got options in the same way with the X division. Do you think, because Monty kept making this joke, and I don't think it was necessarily a joke. He sounds serious, but I kept laughing at it as if it was a joke every time he said it. Do you think that TNA is going to roll the dice on Chris Jericho with this TV deal now? Because you could bring Chris Jericho in next year, and he could be a hook to get people to watch your show. And he's got enough of a name, and he's got enough of a connection to WWE that people would be interested.
I mean, if that goes against everything we were just talking about establishing main eventers, because this guy's not going to be he's not the future of this company. Like you get a short little run, and that's it.
No, but you could kind of do the same thing that AEW did to start their company.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
and have him like be a big draw for you, but then also build up the next crop of guys off of the back of beating him. But that's if he wants to do that. But that's what makes that quote so interesting of him saying that this looks like a number 2 promotion. Like, could that feasibly be a destination for him?
I fucking forgot about that quote for a second there, Phil. You're right. He did say that. That a wrestler like Chris Jericho never just says something to say something. He wasn't just like, I'm going to say this, because it's always some kind of hitting meaning. There's always something behind it. That's not the worst idea in the world, honestly. I think just like AEW did with Chris Jericho and being like, you could come see Chris Jericho on TNT. If TNA is like, watch Chris Jericho on AMC, I think that's going to get some eyes on there. And if Chris Jericho's up there cooking exactly the same thing that he did, and is having these feuds and has a stable with the young guys and does all the type bits, I think it could work for TNA. Does he want to actually do that? I guess that's something to see. I think it would work, though.
Yeah, and that's why, of course, this is all speculation, of course.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure if I believe that that's something Jericho would want to do, but also it isn't a terrible idea for him either. They have a partnership with WWE. He's going to be adjacent to WWE. Even if he does it for like a year, he doesn't really have anything to lose. I can't imagine that he's like broke and he needs a ton of money. I think the TNA could make him a decent offer, and he might do it if it was something creatively he was interested in and he was motivated to help that brand. I don't know, but it's not a terrible idea for either party, I don't think. I just think that you gotta, of course, have an end goal. You can't just have Chris Jericho on your TV running amok creatively, and you don't have an end goal, and you don't have you're not doing the work to build up the next few guys to come in after him. If the plan is to just have Jericho be the main star of your television for the next year or two, then you're probably in trouble.
Right.
But you should be coming into this like, okay, we can do a few months of like Jericho as champion or something, and then that builds to the next guy. But you got to have the next guy ready.
I guess that's where I'm landing. Is like, who are the next guys though? Like Mike Santana, they said there's some contract stuff, but his contract could be over and he's out the door in 3 months. Like, I don't even know what I mean. We've been talking about Leon Slater and all that stuff. Like, maybe we go for it. Like, what is this? AJ Francis could be I don't know what's going to be the real true identity of what NXT, what TNA is on AMC. But it's going to be really interesting to see the developments there and how they add in new bits. They've already started signing some independent wrestlers, and shout out to Jada Stone and people like that getting the opportunity. What's this Myron Reed stuff, Phil? Like, why is he working without a contract is my question. Put him and give him a fucking contract.
So I was confused as to why people were surprised by that, because I already knew that.
Yes.
And I thought that this was like common knowledge that he wasn't on a contract because he hasn't been signed. There's a reason why we get on here all the time and I tweet all the time like, it's crazy that this guy's not signed because he doesn't have a contract. So
still the best unsigned talent that's working, it feels like, because he's not under contract right now. My question was just like, why though? What keeps happening? Or is TNA not offering one? Is he rejecting it? Like, what's the play here?
Yeah, I don't know. The fact that he gave TNA one of their best matches this year, and he's not a contracted wrestler is crazy. I think that they should be trying to offer him a contract. He's definitely one of those guys I think they can build around. The problem is who else is out there? Like there aren't any like real big indie names that they could like make into a main eventer immediately. Of course, like there's like ex-WWE guys that you could probably use. Like that's why it's like Jericho, maybe Killer Cross, because Don Callis isn't there now. You can bring Cross back. Other than that, I don't know. It's not that many wrestlers out there.
Invest in Ali. Like you could, there's some things you can do, but like, independent. I was just talking with my friend Adam. Shout out to my friend Adam. Go to Going Underground Records if you guys are in LA. About the state of independent wrestling, because he was like, because he used to put on wrestling shows or help put on wrestling shows, and he was like, if we put together a wrestling show in LA in 4 months, that was an independent wrestling show. Who are the top independent wrestlers? And I was like, there's a lot that I like, but I don't know. There's not a lot that are like big draws. Like if you have their name on a flyer, people are like, I have to go and see that. It's not, independent wrestling is not at that space right now. It's kind of as a whole, companies are putting it together, and people that are eventually going to be the ones are making their way up there. But there isn't a lot of, I'm a draw right now, I could make a big impact on TV independent wrestlers.
Yeah, a lot of them are signed.
Yep.
All of the biggest ones you can think of are signed. Yep. So that's what I'm saying. At TNA, that's gotta be a tricky road of trying to rebuild their roster over the next year. But I mean, giving people another outlet and giving them a spot that puts them on cable TV, I think that at least is going to entice more people to want to go there.
Yep. I mean, losing companies like Prestige and Deadlock this year, I think a lot of those guys can cook in TNA. So like this could be good if they're not the elephant in the room. If they're not trying to be WWE light, if they're not trying to just ride WWE coattails and they actually establish their own identity, this could be good for everybody.
Yeah, and I don't even know like what is the story with the Rascals as a whole. Now thinking about Myron, are the Rascals going to stay there, or is West trying to stay there?
I think last I heard that West was working without a contract too, and maybe Trey's and Zach's are up soon, so they might all be free agents very soon. and those are way too many talented guys to be free agents.
Yeah. But we'll hear more soon on that. There's not really enough to get into about this Netflix acquisition.
Oh yeah, nuh-uh.
Netflix is they're basically running around with the ticker tape trade ticker tape parade like they won. Well, we acquired them. Like I got an email the other day from Netflix like hey, we acquired Warner Brothers, but they're still waiting on approvals and some other things. Meanwhile, earlier today, Paramount is still putting their bids in as well. So I don't think this deal is done. And I don't think that this is like, I don't know why people are immediately trying to make this a wrestling story. This is a big entertainment news story. Like there's so much more affected by this acquisition than just wrestling. So I don't see this as, oh, well, so long, AEW. I think that's something like that will probably be affected closer to the end of this rights deal, which I think there's like 2 years left. I don't think it's up to like 2028.
There's
so
time.
I don't see anything changing with that immediately. It's just like the Freddie Prinze Jr. quote and how people are jumping on that of ESPN potentially being unhappy so far with the WWE deal. Well, it's not going to affect anything because it's not like they're going to nix the deal. I think it's just one of those things where, they might not be as impressed with the numbers because they thought one thing coming in and it's turned into another. I don't think it bodes well that they've done 3 pay-per-views on ESPN so far, and 2 of them have been not well received. So
yeah, the Netflix stuff was funny because I tweeted the other day and people were immediately like, AEW, wrestling. I was like, I wasn't even thinking about wrestling at all when I was tweeting. Like, when I'm hearing about this deal, I'm not like, what's going to happen to AEW? I'm like, I've been reading studios and independent actors and all these people being like, they're about to kill the movie theater. First of all, they're about to kill the way that movies are released. I'm like, this is way deeper than wrestling. Like entertainment as a whole, movies that we fucking love, that's all about to change if this Netflix deal goes through. We know how Netflix get down. They've been putting movies, some of their movies are in the movie theater, but the most part is you at home watching this. So like this is going to affect a lot. Hearing this today about Paramount and what they got with the UFC and the Trump administration and all this stuff, of like, this is way deeper than what happens on Mondays and Wednesday nights, you guys.
Yeah, that's what I keep thinking every time I log on and people are like, haha, AEW, or look what this means for WWE. And I'm like, I haven't thought about like how this really affects wrestling because we don't know enough about what this deal is actually going to do. From the way it sounds, Netflix is doing what I'd expect. They're looking at it like, we want IPs, we want big IPs to add to our library, like being able to add the DC stuff and Harry Potter and all that stuff. That seems like a bigger concern to them than what wrestling fans are going to be watching.
Yeah. I don't think they was in them board meetings like, what's going to happen with Will Ospreay and Hangman Adam Page? Niggas was in there like Harry Potter and fucking Batman. Like they were talking into some deep shit. Like this wasn't about what's happening on TV. Like this is deep. There's a lot that's going to go into this. I think things are going to change for the good and for the bad and for the worse. Like this deal is crazy. And like, it's going to come into these companies monopolizing and the streaming services and how many we got to pay for. Like, it's just so much that's behind this, Phil.
Yeah. I do wonder, like, once the acquisition actually happens, what does that mean for HBO Max? What does that mean for like other wings of Warner Brothers? But like I said, that's not something that we know enough about right away. Like I said, it immediately seems like what it looks like. Netflix is trying to get some of these big properties to add to their library.
That's it. We get Harry Potter, Phil, bruh. Harry Potter, bring them.
And they're just now announcing this new TV show that they're going to be streaming on Max, and they got the chances to scoop that up and add it to Netflix.
They was all over that.
Yeah, I see it. I see how Netflix is moving. But a part of what I saw in watching the Eddie Murphy documentary is like, oh, okay, so they're basically using this to promote a future Eddie Murphy stand up if he does a stand up, because the entire like last 15 or 10 minutes of that documentary is them talking about, hey, he still got something in the tank if he wanted to do stand up, and you got two people on this thing with him that made a lot of money through Netflix with stand up. So
every time I think about how much money Netflix is gonna offer fucking Eddie Murphy for his first stand-up in fucking 40 years or some shit, could you imagine the price tag that shit's gonna be? Oh my god.
The offer's already been made, I think. I mean, the fact that they already have like they had the exclusive rights to the Beverly Hills Cop sequel.
That's right. Yeah.
And then they brought the documentary. No, the deal has already been made. I would bet money that the deal has already been made, and if there is a chance of him doing a stand-up, that's already been talked about.
That's a fact. And I just watched Dolomite Is the Name again. That might be one of my favorite Eddie Murphy's movies. That's a really good fucking movie. So shout out to the work that he's doing with Netflix. Like, I'm loving it. Eddie Murphy is cooking, and I love Eddie Murphy.
Great. Yeah, great movie. I think it's he needed something like that because he had a string of movies that weren't great. But yeah,
he wanted to get back to his roots, and he got back to him.
Dolomite Is My Name is a great movie. I love when he does that Speedy interview and how Speedy asks him his worst movies, and at one point Speedy's like, a lot of people would say Norbit, but I love Norbit, and Eddie reaffirms, because he said this a few times, no, I love Norbit. I don't care what nobody says. I think Norbit is funny. And guys, I feel the same way. I like Norbit. I don't think it's a great movie. I think it's funny. I quote it all the time. I think it's one of those bad movies that is so bad that it's good. I'm sorry.
People would be mad at me because they're like, "What's some of your favorite Eddie Murphy movies?" And I'm like, "Norbit." Like, I fucking love Norbit, dude. He wrote it.
Norbit is hilarious to me.
He wrote it with his brother Charlie Murphy, dog. Like, it's silly as hell. Like, there's so many people in it that I love. I love it. Anytime Eddie Murphy plays a fucking nerd, like, because Bowfinger's one of my other favorite movies. Like, anytime he plays a fucking nerdy ass dork, I'm in, dog. Like, that's some of my favorite bits. Maybe because I looked like him sometimes, so that plays a role. But like, look, the shit is funny,
bro. I'm sorry, Norbit cracks me up, man. There's certain parts of it that are just really
Norbit
funny.
is fucking
and
funny.
I quote it. I quote Norbit more than I'm willing to admit, guys.
Yeah, Norbit is funny,
bro. Around certain people, man, and they know exactly what I'm referencing, like greasy.
My favorite, my most quoted Norbit line for some reason is, "Go back there and get me a wine cooler."
Bro, that or what are you doing for lunch? And he's like, it's a park and it's watery. I might go. Bro, nah, Norbit is hilarious, bro. Power tap, hey man.
Marlon and Norbit, dog. Like, come on, man, y'all are playing. Norbit is. If you guys haven't seen Norbit and you were like, "Oh, they're giving out Razzies and shit," that movie sucks. It does not. That shit is funny.
Bro, they tried to give my man Razzie for worst actress for that movie. They was hating hard on Eddie, man, and I still think he was robbed of that Oscar.
Absolutely.
Send us in your super chats. That's the best way to get your chats read on this podcast. You can also send us a humper chat at humperchats.com/Fightful.
That's a fact. Let's get into a few of these super chats because it's been a minute. My homie Matt sends the super chat. It don't say nothing. It's just 99 cents. Appreciate you, my homie Matt. I'm gonna have to get with the boys maybe in Christmas time or something. Holidays are coming up. I'll be in Bakersfield. Shout out to my homeboy Matt. Appreciate it. The homie Mod Reval says Lee Moriarty turning face. Hurt Syndicate win.
I don't know. I just think him as a baby face is the move, man. I really think you can move him into the world title picture as well.
Yeah. I think Ring of Honor specifically, if they keep letting him and they can build a story to him winning the Ring of Honor World Championship. And just like I said, what he represents outside the ring and knowing him and interacting with him, and like he's such a charismatic dude, like being a babyface just works so much better for him. I saw this guy the last West Coast Pro show I was at that he worked on. I got there and this fool was carrying in the ring with the fucking the West Coast Pro students, and I was like, hey, you're a TV wrestler, dude. Put that shit down. What are you doing? Why are you carrying the ring with the fucking wrestlers? And he was like, shut up, Reg. And he continued to carry the ring with the fucking wrestlers. That's the type of guy that this guy is.
Yeah, he probably was like, whatever, man. Like,
I was like, I know this ain't who I thought it was. Like, what the fuck is Lee Moriarty carrying this ring for? It was crazy. MJ Johnson says, I'm not going to lie, son. My son and I were yeeting, and when Brock's music hit, my son's face dropped and I died laughing.
No, man, look, if you have fun in the arena, like I can never tell people what to like, man. I never have any interest in doing that. If you liked it, hey, man, I feel you. It wasn't for me. I was just sitting there like,
I guess my question for you, Phil Lindsey, have you yeeted in the building yet? Has there been a WWE event and you've been yeeting?
I haven't been to a WWE event this year.
Damn, for reals?
I'm trying to think. I have not been to a WWE event this year.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, because you didn't go to Mania.
Wow. Yeah, I might go to Elimination Chamber, but I haven't been to a WWE show this year.
Oh, I forgot I got my bid off last week on after Survivor Series. I flipped my famous video from after Raw.
Oh, and people thought it was real. I was like, did you guys listen to the audio? People are so weird, man.
They're so weird.
You can see it's very intentionally edited. People just be wanting to yell at somebody, man.
I'm saying, somebody was like, it sounds so dumb when you edit in the voice. And I'm like, that's the point, you fucking idiot. What do you mean?
That was the joke. Like people people are dumb. Yeah, nah, Dax. I looked at them prices for that Cena SmackDown. I was like, nah. Because that was when AJ debuted. Bro, those prices were crazy. For SmackDown, no.
I forgot that plays a role. They're fucking expensive beyond anything. Shit, dude. That's not a good thing, you guys.
Yeah, no. Those tickets for that SmackDown were crazy. Because I think that was Cena's last SmackDown, and then it was AJ's return. So yeah, nah. I saw them tickets and was like, yeah, I won't be there.
Oh, the only show you would have guaranteed to be at if his schedule was different would have been Evolution 2, huh?
Yeah. I wanted to go, but I was like, I'm not about to try to fly from Dallas to Atlanta and then fly back home. I wasn't doing all that.
That was crazy. Like, damn, is Phil gonna be on some sicko shit? Because I think you thought about it for a minute.
I thought about it.
Maybe. And I'm like, that's gonna be crazy as hell. Oh shit. The homie Matt actually chimed in this time. He's being silly because this is classic my homie Matt. Reg, he's gonna be an actor now. John Cena. Come on. Dun, 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 dun. He's already an actor, Matt. Come on. Matt also says he'll turn no government funds to disaster areas. Oba FEMA.
Bro. Oba basically being like, this is change. You cannot fight change. That whole promo was crazy, bro. Yeah. Like basically treating himself coming back to winning like it was like the flood is coming, like disaster is coming. There's nothing you can do. Crazy.
Like the inevitable, like the thing that you've been dreading is here to take over. Like beautiful, amazing. I can't wait to see what he does with it. Appreciate that, Matt. You silly fool. Van Twinblade says, "What's up, Marks? What did you guys wrapped, rewind, whatever look like? Let's go Blues. F the Blackhawks."
Yeah, me and Emilio talked about it a little bit on I asked Grapsody. I have to now reopen my Wrapped. Well, I have the recap because I use Apple Music, guys. I don't have Spotify.
Same here.
But it looks like what most people would know my recap to look like a lot of Saba, a lot of Chance. Like Saba is my top artist for my recap. I think Chance was like second, and then Kendrick. Here I can look.
Yeah, mine was pretty much what we talk about on this pod, like Phil saying. Saba was pretty high because I've listened to West Side Bound for like at minimum 500 times at this point. And then the Earls album's up there because I listened to that a lot. I've been listening kind of to a lot of the De La Soul album. That's kind of up there, I think. Like I've been putting in some minutes, so
yeah. Yeah, like mine's if mine's is Saba is number 1 top artist, then Chance, Kendrick at 3, No ID at 4, Drake at 5, which surprised me. I was like, Drake at 5, interesting. Nick Grant at 6, Freddie Gibbs at 7, Alchemist at 8, Childish Gambino at 9, and then Pusha T at 10.
Like I could have wrote your list out for you. Like I knew, like this is Phil's list right here. Like you just went down and like, yeah, that all makes sense.
My top album was Starline. So the Chance album, and then Saba was number 2. Very surprised I've listened to the Chance album more. I kind of think that's wrong because I feel like I listen to Saba all the time. Third is the Nick Grant album. I Took It Personal, and then Alfredo 2 is 4, and then Let God Sort Him Out is at 5.
The Saba album, I've listened to the Saba album more than any other album this year, though. Like I play that shit all the time. It's crazy. Such a great album.
Yeah. My favorite album this year, by far.
Yeah. Oh, my the Bad Brains album is on there too, because I listen to that so much. I'm such an old ass head full.
Yeah, it's
Good list these people's be having. Music. I appreciate that, Van But Van Blade also says, Reds like Mercedes, you magnificent bastard. I read your book. She definitely read that book. I want to see them interact more. I don't want that to be it.
Yeah, I hope we get another match.
The homie King of the North says, Festies coming soon, Phil?
Yeah, man. Eventually. Festies are always in the works.
They're always on the horizon, huh?
Yeah, always in the works.
Appreciate that, homie. Great Devlin says, if being at Final Battle taught me anything, it's that half the ROH crew should be on Collision, and TK needs to give ROH a dedicated booker.
Yes, I agree.
I think the structure of which they release stuff and the structure of which some stuff is kind of delved out needs to be changed. That's it.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Then Mikey V says that Collision promo finally sold me. The real Eddie Kingston is back. I know there's no way he wins it on Wednesday, but he got me believing.
Yeah, I thought his promo on Collision was good. I thought his promo on Dynamite was good. I saw a lot of people were not a fan of the Joe promo, but I thought the Joe promo did exactly what it was supposed to do. He's this heel boss for Eddie Kingston to get past. I don't think it was a great promo, but I thought it was a great way to initiate all of the stuff that Eddie said.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't the greatest best, but I think it did the job that it needs to do. And again, yeah, just keep giving Eddie Kingston the mic. Let him get intensity. The deeper the feud is, the more hatred he has, the better it'll get. So we just got to keep putting him in these positions.
Yeah, like I said, it's the same trend that he's really been having in some of his best feuds with the company of Eddie Kingston against some ROH legend and ROH legend that's like, nah, you never could win the big one. You never really lived up to your potential. And his AEW run is him getting matches with all those people.
Punk, Brian, now Joe. Yeah, it makes sense. Then the homie Tyrone Kidd says, bigger meltdown in 26, Mox or Monet? I would say Monet because she's going to lose all those championships, but Mox is going to be out of his crew, so I don't know.
But see, I don't know that I believe he's gonna have a meltdown. I think he's probably gonna quietly go away and reemerge. Monet is gonna have a straight up meltdown at some point.
We're gonna see it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a bit different. So yeah, I'd go with Mercedes too, because it's gonna be. We're gonna hear it. We're gonna see it. Appreciate that, Tyrone. The homie Josh D from CT says these motherfuckers spitting. Righteous Ringo and the homie Phil Lennon. Yo, Santana is effing gone. Dude's made no bones about going to the Fed, and he's probably in line to fill those gaps in NXT after call-ups. Josh is making some points. I mean, everybody was asking the homie about Carlos Silva, how he felt about Joe Hendry kind of going off into the sunset of the WWE. And I feel like Mike Santana's kind of felt the same way. I don't know if what that title change or what the AMC stuff's going to do for it, but it feels like he's another guy that could be on his way up, just because his energy when he was on those shows a couple weeks and he was like, it felt like that's where he wanted to be.
Yeah. If Santana's gone, listen, if this turns into him being a signed wrestler and he's consistently used somewhere, good for him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still think that they mishandled his run this year.
Yep.
He should have won a championship way sooner. And then when he did win a championship, they decided to do that with it, which is still just a very odd decision. I still don't know what they're going at with this, but I was waiting to see if somebody was going to go with this with this joke from Ask Grapsody, because Emilio went on this whole rant about how overrated the Beatles are, and then I explained like what is the appeal of the Beatles and how I don't agree, and then he was like, if you guys were the Beatles, which members would you be? And I was like, oh, that's easy. Will is Paul, because Paul was kind of the first to go off on his own and go solo, and Paul had like he was considered a control freak to a certain degree. So Will is Paul. The guy that Paul butted heads with the most was John Lennon. So I'm John Lennon. And then he was like, does that make Reg Ringo? And I was like, yeah, I think that makes Reg Ringo, because Ringo brought a lot of cool factor to the group, a lot of their lingo, a lot of like the things that made them the Beatles came from Ringo.
Mm-hmm. That's a pretty good breakdown there. Will is 1,000% Paul McCartney though. Like that's
absolutely
not even a question about it.
Absolutely. And how he like just when you think of like a lot of songs that Paul McCartney has made, and how he is very much a guy that loves his love songs. He loves like his he's Paul.
That's a great discussion. I love it. Appreciate that, Josh. That is all of our super chats. Appreciate all you guys for the super chats.
Yeah. I don't think we have any more Humper chats left. I will double check though. But yeah, I mean, Emilio is a big Elvis fan, so I could see, I don't know, but the Elvis, the Beatles conversation with people is always so fascinating, man, because I think you have to understand how important they were to the genre, man. Like I just think like where rock music went after them and the amount of bands that they influenced, like they're incredibly important to rock music history, man. Like it's the same way, like I'm not an Elvis guy. Like I kind of even resent the idea of Elvis, but the guy that helped to make rock and roll a global phenomenon was Elvis Presley. It's almost like, I hate to say it this way, but a black artist wouldn't have been allowed to do what Elvis Presley did at the time that he did it.
Mm-hmm. Like we needed this guy to steal to do it.
yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't like saying it that way, but the success that he had with that sound, a black artist wouldn't have been allowed to do that at the same time because of just the way radio was, the way that the music business was. And I hate that that's the case, but Elvis is Elvis because he came at the right time and he capitalized on it.
Right. They wouldn't even have been able to be on the radio or on TV in those moments doing.
Well, I mean, that's how he was able to steal people's songs because their music was not on mainstream radio.
Mm-hmm. They want to put Little Richard on there.
Yeah.
We got another one from Busby. The homie Busby says, when the year is over, we need to have a conversation about Triple H's booking. It was not only his worst year as a booker, it was also very safe.
I mean, I don't think we gotta wait till the year is over. I think most people have already been saying this is his worst year as Booker.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that the safe thing is what it is, Busby, is like it was just like, what has gotten us success? Let's go back to that. I mean, that's kind of WWE's MO of like, what was successful before? Let's try it again, or let's keep going with it. And I just think that there were so many moments that they were just like bloodline stuff still. And like, we're all in with Cody, and like, you should be all in with Cody, but like in a different way. You know what I mean? It's just kind of they were like shoving things down our throats and down their fans' throats that I don't know if necessarily they were ready to do. And they're just like, well, this is what we do now type of explanation for it too, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah, no, I think by far this is probably his worst booking, even if we're comparing it to like the NXT stuff. Like this is the most heavily I've ever seen him criticized as a booker.
Yeah. Right. Not
all the way to
Papa H stuff this year.
Yeah, all the way to the point that people are like, TKO is running this company. And it's like, yeah, I mean, some of this is him too.
Because he is head of creative, and these are creative things. So, yeah.
I think the last thing we'll get into, week 2 of the Continental Classic has been pretty strong. Fortunately, we got the news on Wednesday that Darby had to be hospitalized after his week 1 match with Kevin Knight. Damn. And then we found out on Saturday during Collision that he is officially out of the Continental Classic. Jungle Boy Jack Perry will be taking his place. I think Jack is a perfect replacement for him. It almost feels like, why wasn't Jack in the tournament anyway?
Yep.
But it's unfortunate that Darby's going to miss the rest of the tournament. I hate that. And it was such a run-of-the-mill spot that, you know, he does all the time. It wasn't something like crazy compared to the stuff that we see him do all the time, like throwing himself down a flight of stairs or through a plane of glass, and that's how he got injured. Yeah, it sucks. So hopefully he gets cleared soon. I don't know that they've given us like the specific injury. They just said that he wasn't cleared.
We've seen so many crazy things. We've seen him dive, jump, be hung, kicked, burnt, set on fire, and he's fine. And then like just a regular match, he gets hurt. That's what wrestling is. That's how wrestling works. You just never know what's going on. I just love what he brought to the Continental Classic. What he brings to TV wrestling in general is just so different. That was going to be 5 unique different matches having Darby Allin in there. So it's unfortunate that after the first one he was out, because a lot of the tournament I think was going to run through what he brought to it. So speedy recovery to the homie, because beyond the tournament, it's just great to see him working and being crazy on a weekly basis.
Yeah. And yeah, the Kevin Knight match was really good. So
yes.
Sucks, but speedy recovery to him. Hopefully he's back in the fold soon.
Mm-hmm.
But Wednesday night we got Kazuchika Okada versus Pac. This was great. Pac continues to bring his physicality to these matches. He is I mean, there's no other way to describe it. He is very physical in there. He's not coming in there trying to do any flippy stuff and finesse. No, he's coming in there hitting you really hard with these forearms and these pump kicks, and then he'll try to throw like a top rope move out of there after he beat you down for most of the match.
Yes, Pac becoming a grounded wrestler that like legit used to be number 1 or number 2 in the world in high flying, and being like, I'm chill. I'm just gonna knock your head off. I'm just gonna suplex you really hard. I'm just gonna slam your body into the apron or the post, or I'm gonna inflict damage in a different way. And I'm even gonna do that with finesse, because like he's just one of the tightest wrestlers. Everything is so perfect when Pac does it. He's such another great addition to this, and we see how great of a wrestler is against all different backgrounds, and he can do anything. Like Pac is one of the best wrestlers in the entire world, honestly.
Yeah, this was a very strong match to start with on Wednesday. Okada picked up the win to get his first points on the board. Mm-hmm. He's got 3 points on the board. Kyle Fletcher took on Kevin Knight later in the night. Really loved this match. These two are definitely the future of this company. Kevin Knight has been moving different in this tournament, man. I mean, he's been having good matches since he came to the company. But his first two matches in this tournament have been excellent. Just how the height he was getting on some of those flying clotheslines in this match, that drop kick, like, I mean, we already know he has one of the best drop kicks in wrestling, but man, pinpoint drop kick on Kyle Fletcher, that was awesome. The stuff on the outside, he's looked great. And just two matches of what this has done for him has been, like, man, immeasurable.
Dude, Kevin the Jet Knight fucking floats, you guys. That springboard clothesline he hit to the outside where it just feels like he's flying is like, what? Like, where did this guy come from? Like, his charisma and the way that he works, and he's so happy to be here, but he's intense and he jumps super fucking high and he hits really hard with this drop kick and he looks really cool while doing it. Like, this tournament has done so much for him. Like you said, just two matches in, like, this is exactly what the Continental Classic should be for a guy like Kevin Knight. I mean, great dance partners in the first one. Like, that was a insanely fun match with Darby Allin last week. And this match against Kyle, we all know what Kyle's been doing the last year or so, is like, he's on fire with everybody. His strikes make me cringe. They're so hard sometimes. Some of his kicks are like, careful out there, brother. That looks really hard. His lariat, all the stuff that he does in the match. He's next up for sure. Like, this is what the tournament was all about with these two, man. So much fun.
Yeah, some great near falls in this match. Kevin Knight survived most of Kyle's offense. He had to really lock it in and hit the big brain buster to end the match to put him away. I thought that made Kevin Knight look great. I mean, regardless, this was such a great showcase match for him in general, but the fact that it took so much to put him down, I thought that made him look good as well. But Kyle Fletcher picked up his second win in the tournament. He's got 6 points total. Main event, Claudio Castagnoli versus Jon Moxley. This was awesome. I mean, I love the storytelling they've done here as well. I thought halfway through it that this felt very similar to Mox versus Bryan from, I think, Revolution. And so by the end, when Bryan was like, well, I never managed to beat Moxley, and that's why we considered Moxley a leader. And I was like, I figured that's what they were doing. I thought that was very smart. Claudio is he just looks like a world beater right now, man. Like, I mean, this guy is just like throwing people over his shoulders and just like throwing them like they're a sack of garbage, and then like coming in with these like crazy strikes. The airplane spin he did into the steps, that's how Mox got busted open. I thought that was a great way to do that without having to use weapons in the match. Having the storytelling of Claudio coming out from the crowd, and the rest of the Death Riders were cheering him on when he went out, and the only person with Mox was Marina. That was great. Even when Mox lost, the only person over there with him was Marina, and she had that same kind of sad look on her face that she had when he lost at the pay-per-view. Like, she knows what's coming. It's like man, just the stuff they're doing with the Death Riders is so good. And this match was just really good. Pay-per-view quality match.
It was. Yeah. Having Claudio in that continuous no nonsense type of, I know what this tournament is. I'm coming to fucking win it. I don't care that I'm in here with Jon Moxley. I don't care that we're having a thing. I'm about to beat your ass in this match. The European uppercuts he's been hitting are on fire. Him picking up guys like their laundry and just throwing them all over the place. The way that he makes it look effortless adds on to the legacy of what Claudio is. And I think the last couple of weeks and kind of being positioned to be the main guy in the Death Riders and getting big wins like this over Moxley, I think has really helped. It shows how great of a character Claudio could be if he's given the opportunity to.
Yeah. Claudio picked up the win here. Jon Moxley has lost, I believe, 3 matches in a row. I was going to say 2. But But yeah, he's lost 3 matches in a row. He won his first match. He won his match to Mascara Dorada. So he won his first match, lost 2 in a row. So he's got 3 points. Claudio is up. I think he leads his division. Sorry, he won 2. The fact that he came out of the main event beating Mox made his match on Collision that more effective because Mascara Dorada picked up the win over him. I thought that was a good choice because Dorada, like we said, I think a lot of people assumed he was gonna fill the same role the Commander did last year, come in, just kind of eat the pin, have flashy matches with people. I thought he had a good match with Claudio, and then he picked up the win. I was surprised he picked up the win, especially after Claudio won on Wednesday.
Yeah, you wouldn't think getting a victory over John Moxley and what that is and what story that's going to tell, that kind of immediately after Dorada would get the surprise win. I mean, this is a good story, Phil. We know last year that one of Claudio's losses in the tournament was against Commander. I think them establishing, like, if a fucking hooping ass luchador comes in here, Claudio's going to have a problem because historically they've worked so well. He's one of the best bass in history. And like, if they start cooking, he gets caught a little off guard, they flip into something, they could get a win over him. So I think establishing that Claudio after Mox even helps Dorada even more.
Yes. Collision opened with Orange Cassidy versus Roderick Strong. This is a rematch from their international championship match. If you remember going into that match, Roderick ended up winning because Orange Cassidy was nursing all of these injuries from this long run as international champion. This time, Orange Cassidy is healthy coming into the matchup. So it's evened the playing field a bit. Roderick Strong is still going to come in there and try and break your back. He's still going to hit you with these crazy looking knee strikes. And that was the case throughout. Orange Cassidy managed to survive this time to pick up a win. I thought that this was a good way to open the show. And we really got, I thought, 3 really good Continental Classic matches on Saturday. The main event was fantastic. John Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita. This was another one that I felt like was like a pay-per-view level match. This was really, really good. The strike exchanges in the middle of the ring. Everything Moxley was trying to do to ground this guy down so he couldn't just like dominate him with his usual offense. And then Takeshita just basically took off on him, hit him with 2 gnarly looking knee strikes at the end of the match, and then hit him with the Raging Fire to put him away to pick up his win. But yeah, very, very good match.
Yes, I'm trying to watch. That's why I said I'm about to pull this show up right after this because I want to see these kind of the classic matches. I knew that Mox and Takeshita were going to cook just because of the energy that Mox been giving up. Like I said, post AEW World Champion, the matches that he's been working are super fire. So this was the way. And Takeshita's working like he wants to kill everybody, and Okada is next up. So I definitely got to watch that main event.
Yeah. So I believe. Well, I don't have to assume. I could just pull it up. Yeah, I was right. Takeshita and Claudio are tied for first place in the Blue League right now with 6 points apiece. John Moxley has 3 points. Orange Cassidy's right behind him, as well as Mascara Dorada with 3 points. Roderick Strong is dead last with 0 points. Kyle Fletcher is in the lead in the gold division with 6 points. Right behind him, he's got Kevin Knight, Kazuchika Okada, and Pac all with 3 points apiece. Jack Perry and Speedball Mike Bailey have 0 points. Jack is taking on Darby's first loss in the tournament from week 1, so he's starting the tournament with 0 points.
That's what's up. But yeah, like I am very excited to see what Jack Perry does. Like you said, I think why wasn't he kind of included in the first round of this? But whatever we got here, I think I'm interested to see him in some one-on-one contests with intensity, not anything surrounding them. I think he's going to excel in this.
Yeah. He's back to wrestling, the style of wrestling that he popularized when he initially came to his company. And I'm excited to see that in this tournament. I mean, with the guys he's on that side of the tournament with, I mean, you've got a Kyle Fletcher match coming up. You've got an Okada match coming up for him. Speedball, Pac. Those are going to be strong matchups for him.
Yep. It should be pretty good coming out this tournament.
Yeah. We got more teasers of Roddy turning on Orange Cassidy, by the way, and the backstage segments and some of the stuff he's been saying in interviews. You can very much tell all along that he's been just kind of reluctantly hanging around a conglomeration guys because, you know, Kyle O'Reilly's his friend. Those guys are not his friends. He's just hanging around because he's hanging with Kyle, and he clearly does not like any of this conglomeration stuff. He's looking around like, why aren't you guys taking this stuff seriously? It's funny because he strikes me almost as a Death Rider guy. The way he talks is like, this is what you guys doing. You guys are jokey. Yeah, so I definitely think we're heading towards Roddy turning on the conglomeration guys. Maybe that's going to be the match for Kyle O'Reilly when he initially comes back as well. But there's so many options you can go there. I assume Roddy might be one of the opponents for Mark for the TNT title as well.
Yep.
So, but yeah, Roddy is definitely not long for this group. That is very apparent.
I think full heel Roddy kind of away doing what he does is a good move for this. You know what I mean? Like this being in this tournament is going to show them.
Yeah, but strong tournament so far. We've got Matt. Did they announce the matches for this week yet or no? They did not. Well, at least they're not on here yet, if they have.
Huh.
No, they're just not on here.
Yeah.
But on Dynamite, we also got the semifinals for the AEW Women's World Tag Team Tournament. Tony and Mina advanced. They'll be facing the Babes of Wrath in the finals. I thought that this holiday death match was fun for what it was. Bits of it were a bit silly, but I thought it was fun for what it was. We got the return of Luther in the mix of it. Luther pulling his middle finger out of a box.
Yeah, them having shenanigans attached to it, the plunder and stuff, I think made the most sense. Them trying to isolate Marina away from Megan told a good story. This is fun, not too offensive. I think it was a surprising result because I think that I thought that there would be a world where Marina and Megan, as trying to be the foil to the Babes of Wrath, could be a thing, or they could go over. But like now, I just don't know. I guess Tony and Mina have been set up for this. They've been telling a lot of story for them to win. So, like I've continuously said, attaching those championships at first to Tony is not the worst idea in the world, and I see why they would do that.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised by the outcome. I think Tony and Mina are going to win a tournament. I'm only surprised that they're not facing the Sisters of Sin in the finals. Because I thought that, you know, they were building this up for them to take out all the heels that they were seeking revenge on coming out of Blood and Guts. But for some reason, they're doing Sisters of Sin versus Jamie and Chris Statlander. Not sure where that came from, but maybe that's to build up to the match at World's End. Maybe that once they're finished with this, we're getting Statlander Hater or Statlander Hater and Tekla. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, her looking at the belt after that promo and saying I want next is all I really cared about. I'm like, well, this is going to lead to a match with them. That's going to be heat because I think it's time for Jamie Hayter to be in that title division.
Definitely. But yeah, then we got winners coming next week. Really strong winners coming card too. Yeah.
Winners coming is going to be kind of hard. We're going to officially crown those AEW women's champions. I'm looking for Winter is coming. Oh yeah, this is the tag matches on Wednesday. Swerve and Hangman against the Big Homie and Shibata. But I'm trying to see next Saturday a Swerve against Josh Alexander 1-on-1 because that shit's gonna be heat.
Yeah, we got the build for that during Collision.
That's gonna be fire.
I don't believe we have any more Humper chats, but Probably last call for super chats, and we're gonna get up out of here.
We have one more super chat from the homie Mr. Alston, who says 90s and 2000s, the 35 and up rappers killing. LOL. Yeah, finally. They stopped being mad at all the old rappers, and now the old rappers, they're making the best records. They're doing all the like. I don't listen to no 21-year-old rappers. What does that mean? That's weird. That's crazy. Appreciate that, Mr. Austin.
Yeah, probably the youngest rapper we talk about all the time is Saba.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I don't think Saba's. I think Saba just turned 30. It's like 31.
Jid might be an under 30 rapper too, potentially.
Yeah. Yes. Jid is. I feel like Jid is born in the 90s. I don't think he's 80s kid.
Right.
Yeah. Jid is 35.
Oh, okay. No, he's up there. Shout out to him.
Yeah. Most of the rappers we're talking about are 30s and up.
Yep.
I'm not on the wave with a lot of these younger dudes.
Sorry, not for me.
The youngest guy that I liked recently, he's having a weird period. The NLE Chopper. I liked NLE when he first came out, and music lately, I'm like, what's going on?
That video still kills me. He might have ruined Hit 'Em Up, because they play Hit 'Em Up a couple times during the Diddy doc, and the first thing in my brain is fucking NLE Chopper and not Tupac, and I was like, wait a second, hold on, what happened here?
Bro, that was the other funny thing coming out of us doing Ask Grapsody, because I was trying to explain the NLE video to Emilio because he hadn't seen it. And I was like, yeah, and they keep making all of these clips with like Wild Wild West over it, or somebody put Unwritten over it. And I was like, it's hilarious. And he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I shared my screen to show it to him on Ask Grapsody. And so when we finished Ask Grapsody, I get a fucking text from Sean. He was like, imagine my surprise sprinting to my computer, trying to figure out why I got a copyright notification from Will Smith.
Will Smith. Oh, man. Wild Wild West, baby. Straight to it.
Oh man. But appreciate you guys for pulling up for a Monday edition of Grapsody. We will be back in our usual time slot on Saturday. Yeah, Christmas will be upon us soon. We'll probably record something for World's End, but we've got like 3 more of these things to end this year.
What happened to the year, man? 2025 fucking flew by, dude. It's almost over. Yeah, 3 years, a couple of more of these more, and we're in the 2026, y'all. So appreciate you guys for joining us today and always joining us. Y'all are the best.
Yeah, appreciate you. This has been Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey. Righteous Reg. We're out of here, I think.